attests more to the strength of the Miami Dolphins than the fact that this man, Bob Greasy, has been sidelined most of the season. Yet the Dolphins continue to be undefeated. Greasy's broken leg has introduced a new Dolphin hero, but an old Orange Bowl face, Earl Morrall. The 38-year-old quarterback has done so well that going into last Sunday's game, Miami had the opportunity to be the first team this year to clinch a division title. A victory over the Jets would accomplish this, and it is only week number 10. Greasy's injury has brought about an interesting rematch today. For in this same Orange Bowl in 1969, Earl Morrall, then a Colt, was the victim of Joe Namath's guaranteed Super Bowl upset. Today, as 4 years ago, the pressure is on Namath and New York, where the Jets must duel for their very lives. The Eastern Division title is all but beyond their reach, but they still can squeeze into the playoffs as the wild card in the AFC. So this is a big one for both teams as the Miami Dolphins try to clinch its title and run the unbeaten streak to 10 games in a bid to attain the first unbeaten season since the Cleveland Browns did it 24 years ago. Well, the New York Jets, led by Joe Namath, today is a fight for survival.
The Jets need a win or a tie to keep their at-large berth alive. Here's the kick. It is long, way back in the end zone, but Bjorklund touches it. It goes out of the end zone. There'll be no run back, a touchback, and the Jets will start from their 20-yard line. Setting the Dolphin defense, Dan Herter, Fernandez, Hines, Stanfill on the front line. Swift, Bonaconte, Coleman, the linebackers, Foley and Johnson, the quarterback. Scott and Anderson are the safeties. For the New York Jets, Emerson, Boozer, John Riggins, the running back. Joe Namath, the quarterback. Maynard and Bell, the wide receivers, and Castor, the tight end. Bell out of the huddle, splits off to the far side. Maynard to the near side. And Riggins and Boozer are the split back in behind Joe Willie. First down for the Jets from their 20-yard line. He will take a long time to set his ball club. Now he sets them at the line of scrimmage. On the snap, hands to Boozer. Sweep left, cuts back to his right. He is going to be hit at the 21, the 22-yard line, and dropped. There's a flag on the play. Nick Bonaconte sliding over from the middle linebacker spot for the Dolphins. Makes the tackle on the play, but there is a penalty coming up. A holding call against the Jets right off the bat. Trying to get Boozer free to turn the corner.
Rick, we talked about seeing strange defenses on behalf of New York Jets. We just here saw a 5-2. This is something we haven't seen too much of with Miami.
A 5-2 for the Dolphins being employed. We were going to get some different looks this afternoon on both ball clubs. Half the distance is the call on the holding infraction against New York. Sets the ball back to their 10-yard line. Henry?
The official pointed at guard Dave Herman. We'll try to get you the official word on who was holding.
All right. The official preliminary indication at least is right guard Dave Herman on the holding infraction. It is a first down and 20 for the Jets. The ball back at their 10-yard line. Bell splits far side. Maynard to the near side. Riggins and Boozer are the split backs, and now the officials say something to Namath. He has not yet set his ball club. This ball game getting off to a rather slow start. Joe up under center. Marks the signal. Now Riggins sets in tighter than he was with Boozer as a split back. On the snap, here's the handoff. Riggins to the right side. He gets a yard. That's all to the 11-yard line. Vern Denherter, the defensive left end, weak side linebacker Mike Colin. We're right there to ram him to the ground. Today's attendance, 80,010, again a capacity. And so the Dolphins now insert Bob Matheson on the prevent situation in which he will either rush or drop off as a defensive end or a linebacker. There was a flag on that last play. And the Dolphins are penalized 5 yards for being offside. So we've had 2 penalties on the first 2 plays from scrimmage. Bob Hines is out as Matheson comes in on the Dolphin defense.
That Denherter is turning into one of the strongest defensive ends in the league. He just manhandled all that offensive blocking coming out there. Just wouldn't let him get by.
Both clubs a little eager on the first 2 plays. 2 penalties ensued. It's first and 15 now for New York. The ball at their 15-yard line. Bell splits to the far side. Maynard to the near side. Riggins and Boozer are the split backs. Now Riggins sets in tight. Namath sets his ball club. Here's the handoff. Boozer starts inside. He is caught and dropped at the 15. No gain on the play. Bill Stanfill stood his down. The right side defensive end. Nobody blocked him. And Boozer ran right into him. Stanfill grabbed Boozer and wouldn't let him get any place. He got to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. No gain. The ball is placed down at the Jets' 15-yard line. It'll be a second down and 15 for New York. Emerson Boozer
a 7-year veteran from Maryland Eastern Shore, who leads the league in scoring with a total of 13 touchdowns. John Riggins, one of the most prolific rushers, are the two rushing backs. And they split now in behind Namath as he splits Bell to the far side. To the near side is Maynard. On second down at 15, Joe Willie drops the throw. He fires. It is picked off. Hey, the Dolphins at the 33-yard line. Dick Anderson, the strong safety, is the man who got it, and he's wrestled to the ground right there. A tackle made by the intended receiver, Don Maynard. That's for Anderson, his second pass interception of the season and his second in as many weeks.
No one got to Joe on that, Rick, on rushing the passer, but they just harassed him enough so he had to put the ball up in the air a little higher, had to arch it a little high. This came about with the interception.
All right, the Dolphins have the ball on Anderson's pass interception. He was tackled immediately at the Jets' 33-yard line. Otto Stowe is the wide receiver left. Pulley is the slot man left. Mercury and Zonka are the I-backs. Pulley goes in motion off to the far side. Here's the handoff from Morrill to Morris. He hits the middle and gets about a yard, and that's all. Mark Lomas, the right side defensive end, makes the tackle. Studying the Jets defensively for you, Jerry Philbin, John Little, John Elliott, and Mark Lomas are the front four. The linebackers are Mike Taylor, Al Atkinson, and Larry Grantham. The cornerbacks are Steve Tannen, a Miami boy, and Early Thomas. The safeties are Chris Parasopoulos and Gus Holloman.
There might have been a giveaway somewhere on the left-hand side of the offensive line, Rick, because Elliott and Lomas, they just moved right together, closing up that gap.
All right, Earl Morrill up under center. Ball at the Jets 33, handoff to Zonka, hits the middle and gets 3 to the 30-yard line. It'll be a third down coming up and about 6 yards to go for a Dolphin first down. They'll put in Jim Mandich now as a blocker up front. Henry?
Mercury Morris is favoring his right ankle. Seems to be limping a little bit.
They have pulled out the other defensive back, and they have inserted the fourth linebacker. Phil Wise has come into the ball game. And also Ralph Baker is in there. Number 51 is the linebacker. It'll be a third down and 6 for the Dolphins. The ball at the Jets' 30-yard line. Otto Stowe splits near side, Pulley to the far side. Morris and Zonka behind Morrill. He drops the throw, swings a pass to Zonka. He's got the first down inside the 25, down to about the 22-yard line. Larry Zonka, just a swing pass out of the backfield to the far side of the field, and Zonka is tackled by Ralph Baker and strong safety Gus Holloman, but not before he picks up the Dolphins' first down at the Jets. They're going to put it down at the 23-yard line.
And Larry probably could have made more yardage on that, but Larry just likes to run over those defensive backs, and Holloman coming up at him, he just wanted to knock them in half.
All right, the Dolphins break out of the huddle. Howard Pulley splits to the far side. Otto Stowe, the second-year man from Iowa State, starting in Warfield's place, is split to the near side. In the eye, Zonka and Morris. Morrill. The first down from the 22. Here's a handoff. Zonka hits straight ahead, gets inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line. John Little, the left side defensive tackle, makes the stop, along with Ralph Baker, the linebacker. Wise is in the ball game on the defense. Phil Wise, a defensive back, playing at that fourth linebacker spot. They have Baker, Atkinson, Grantham, and Wise as the 4 linebackers. It'll be a second down and 7. The Dolphins with the interior line of Crusan and Norm Evans at the tackles, Kuchenberg and Little at the guards, Langer at center. Morris and Zonka are the I formation backs. Howard Pulley splits to the far side, Stowe to the near side. Second down and 7. Dolphins ball from the Jets 19. Here's the handoff to Mercury, starts inside, cuts outside, turns the corner. He is hit across the 15 and dropped at the 12-yard line. Mercury Morris with some good blocking out in front. John Elliott, the left side defensive tackle, makes the stop on the play. And that is... There is a man shaking up, Chris Parasopoulos. The officials also call a time to bring in the chains for a measurement. Parasopoulos, the weak safety, shaken up on the play on the far side of the field for the Jets. And we'll get the measurement here. The ball has been placed down at the New York 12-yard line. 10 minutes, 48 seconds to go in the first quarter. First down, Miami. Larry Little threw a devastating block over there. And Parasopoulos is laid out on the field. Incidentally, congratulations are in order to our statistician, Fred Woodson, the former Dolphin interior lineman, upon his impending marriage next Saturday. And we look forward to having Fred back with us on the Monday night game. 10 minutes, 48 seconds left to go in the first quarter. The Dolphins, keyed by Dick Anderson pass interception. Parasopoulos is up. It appears he just had the wind knocked out of him, being helped off the field. The Dolphins have a first down at the Jets' 12-yard line.
Rick, I'll tell you, that end run that Morris runs around there is just probably one of the best plays the Dolphins have. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it come right back this time over the left side and get murked, another score.
W.K. Hicks, a 9-year veteran, number 33 from Texas Southern, has replaced Parasopoulos at the safety spot. The Dolphins now with a first down at the Jets' 12-yard line. Earl Morrell is the quarterback. Marv Fleming the tight end. Otto Stowe and Howard Twilley the receivers. Larry Zonka and Mercury Morris the running backs. And we just set the interior line for you. The Dolphins break out of the huddle. Twilley splits to the far side, Stowe to the near side. Zonka and Morris are split backs behind Morrell this time. The handoff to Merck, sweep to the left side. He's at the 10 and hit right there, falls forward to the 9-yard line. A 3-yard pickup as this Jets defense against the rush has come on in recent weeks to become the third best in the AFC. The tackle made by right corner Early Thomas and W.K. Hicks, who has just come in the ball game. Jim Mandich comes in now for the Dolphins as Fleming goes out at the tight end spot. The ball is just inside the Jets' 10. We'll call it second down and 7. They can pick up another first down if they get inside the 2 in this drive. Miami breaks out of the huddle. Twilley splits off to the far side. And to the near side is Otto Stowe. That interception by Anderson, the 12th for the Dolphins defensive secondary. Here's the pass. Quick down, Miami. Howard Twilley. And here come the White Handkerchiefs. Just as Twilley did in the earlier ball game at Chase Stadium, he slanted off the far side into the middle. Morrell hit him with a strike, and he got inside quarterback Steve Cannon for the touchdown. He hit him right on the numbers. And so Miami gets into the end zone with 10:06 left to go. Your Premier will try to point from placement. Earl Morrell will hold. Waiting for the snap. Here it is, set down. The kick is up. And it's perfect. Dolphin football action continues from the Orange Bowl with the score. Our Dolphins 7, the Jets nothing. Henry Barrow back at the Orange Bowl, a 33-yard drive. 7 plays set up by a Dick Anderson pass interception on Joe Namath. Howard Twilley. Recipient of a 9-yard touchdown pass, his third TD catch of the year, and Earl Morrell's 5th touchdown throw. Hank Bajorkman, number 40, Phil Wise, 27, deep to receive your Permian's kickoff. Again, he kicks it out of sight. Way back in the end zone, no run back. Wise catches it and downs it, so the Jets will start from their 20-yard line. Cullen really having a battle on the Dolphins specialty team with the Jets' Ed Gallagher coming downfield, and they were wrestling each other all over the place. Henry?
You know, Howard Twilley's always eaten up Steve Tannen, but when he came off the field, he was hugging Mercury Morris, telling it Merck's play made it work.
All right, the Jets will try to get something started.
That pass interception was his 15th of the year that Anderson picked off and
Keep that Dolphin touchdown drive. Ed Bell splits far side. Don Maynard to the near side. Boozer and Riggins, the eye backs, in behind Joe Namath. First down, Jets from their 20-yard line. They're moving toward the east end from our left to our right. Namath sets his ball club, spins, hands off to Boozer.
he hits the right side. No place. He runs into a stone wall.
Nick Bonicatti along with Bob Hines. Stacking him up right at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. Manny Fernandez also in on the stop.
And so it'll be a 2nd and 10, and here comes Bob Matheson in now. This prevent defense with the 53, they call it the 53 because it develops into a 3-5-3. It has nothing to do with the fact that Matheson wears
number 53. Hines is out. And on obvious passing situations, they will also put in the extra defensive back. Matheson will either deploy as a pass rusher or drop back as a linebacker.
2nd down and 10. Jets ball at their 20-yard line.
Joe Willie drops the throw straight back.
Swings the pass out. Riggins got it. The 19 up the far side to the 25, and it's knocked out of bounds.
On the far side of the field at the
27-yard line. Doug Swift coming across, along with cornerback Curtis Johnson, makes the tackle on the play. A gain of some 7 yards. It'll be a 3rd down and 3 coming up for New York. Up their 27-yard line.
Rick, that 53 defense really confuses the quarterback because it looks like they're leaving big gaps there in the line where you should be able to run these people. But really, it doesn't exist because before the ball is snapped, there's going to be complete coverage on all those gaps.
It allows Swift to rush or Matheson to rush. It also frees a defensive end on either side to employ a rush. And what it does is freezes the offensive line for just a second. Namath on 3rd and 3. Bootleg drops the throw. He fires. Open is Boozer. He's got it and knocked down immediately at the 35-yard line in Jets territory. Curtis Johnson makes the tackle from his cornerback spot, but that's good for a first down for New York at their 35-yard line. As Namath hit Emerson Boozer with a swing out to the far side, and Johnson was right there on top of him and nailed him at the 35, but not before the Jets picked up a first down. Joe Namath, perhaps the most renowned, the most publicized. A lot of people say he is the most talented quarterback of all time. Ed Bell splits far side. Don Maynard to the near side. Riggins and Boozer, the split backs, and behind Namath. First down, Jets from their 35-yard line. Dolphins lead 7-0. We're in the first quarter. On the snap, Joe Willie drops straight back to throw. Excellent protection. Fires the middle. It is caught at the 50 by Boozer. He's knocked down at the Dolphins' 48-yard line. The tackle by weak safety Jake Scott. Namath looked to the far side and then pumped into the middle. Nick Bonacani also in on the stop. 17, let's make it 18 yards on the pass completion as they put it down at the Miami 47. Namath to Boozer. And into the ball game comes Jerome Barkham, the big rookie. As Maynard goes out, Barkham, 6'3", 215 from Jackson State, wearing number 83. He is employed as a wide receiver. They also use Castor, the tight end, sometimes as a wide receiver. First down, Jets at the Miami 47-yard line. On the snap, handoff to Boozer. He hits the left side, gets a couple inside the 45 to about the 44-yard line. Manny Fernandez makes the tackle on the play for Miami. Also in on the stop was linebacker Doug Swift. They put the ball down at the 44. It's a gain of 3. It'll be second down and 7. The Dolphins will play the St. Louis Cardinals here a week from tomorrow night. And we'll have it for you on WIOD and these network stations beginning at 8:50. Don Maynard has come back in now as a wide receiver. He splits to the near side. Eddie Bell, the flea as they call him, is deployed to the far side. Riggins and Boozer behind Namath. He drops the throw. Swings a flare pass out to Riggins, and he can't hold on to it. It's incomplete. There was no screen set up in front of him. He just swung it out to the near side, and Riggins couldn't hold on to the football. Doug Swift covered from his strong side linebacker along with Dick Anderson for the Dolphins. That'll bring up third down and 7. For the Jets, the ball at the Miami 44. Miami grabbed the lead off a Dick Anderson pass interception. In the opening moments of the ball game, it was down at the Jets 33. It took the Dolphins 7 plays to get in. Morrill hits Philly with a 9-yard touchdown pass. The Dolphins lead 9-0. This is the Jets' second offensive sequence. Bell splits to the far side. Maynard to the near side. Riggins and Boozer, the setbacks in behind. Joe Willie, a third down and 7. For the Jets from the Dolphins' 44-yard line. People jump. No flags. Hand off to Riggins. Hole left side. 40, 35. Down to the 30-yard line. To the Dolphins' 29 before he is tripped up. Curtis Johnson makes the tackle. Jake Scott also in on the play, and they're going to mark it. That's good for a first down. 17 yards for Riggins. First down at the Miami 30-yard line is where they put it down. John Riggins over the left side had great blocking up front.
Rick, that's one of the dangers of that 53. You do leave those occasional gaps, as I talked about a little while ago, and no one closed up that one over there with the left tackle and left guard.
First down for New York at the Miami 30-yard line. Eddie Bell split to the far side. Maynard set as a wingman off the tight end. Riggins and Boozer. The split backs behind Namath. On the snap, Joe hands to Riggins over the left side. Matheson grabs him. He is hit and dropped after a gain of about 2 yards. Juggled the ball as he went through the line of scrimmage. I believe he retained possession of it. Bob Matheson on the tackle for Miami after a gain of 2 at the Dolphins' 28-yard line. It'll be a second down and 8.
That was the same identical play, Rick, that he just made the good gain on. But this time, Bonacani and the other boys closed up the hole.
Dolphins lead 7-0. 5:53 to go in the first quarter. The Jets on the drive under the direction of their general, Joe Willie Namath, in his 8th year. He brings them out. They split 2 receivers to the near side. Maynard is the outside man. Eddie Bell, flat man right. Riggins and Boozer. The split backs behind Namath. Second down and 8. For the Jets, the ball at the Miami 28-yard line. On the snap, Joe Willie drops straight back to throw. Good protection. Now he's fakes down. He's going to run. He is hit from behind by Matheson and dropped after a 2-yard gain at the Dolphins' 26. Bob Matheson broke through on the pass protection, and it just wilted. And Namath could see it coming. He could hear the footsteps. He decided to run with the ball and picked up 2 yards. His rushing average on the season is a 1.3. So that'll bring up a third down and 6 from the Dolphins' 26-yard line. Big play here for Joe Willie.
Don't be surprised, Rick, we see Maynard, the reliable, the man out there in a short flip, just enough to get him that 6 yards.
All right, Bell switch to the far side. Maynard to the near side. Boozer and Riggins to split backs and behind Namath. The ball at the Miami 26-yard line on a 3rd down and 6. Joe Willie looks around, looks over that defense, trying to read it. He hasn't set his ball club yet. Now he does. On the snap, goes back to throw, sets up, fires. It is caught for the first down by Castor, the tight end. He's inside the 15 down to the 12-yard line before quarterback Tim Foley and Dick Anderson make the tackle on the play. We'll pause here for station identification on the Miami Dolphins Football Network.
Drive a new and different car every 6 months. William Lehman Leasing makes it possible. Call William Lehman Leasing for details.
WIOD Miami.
Namath heading Castor for the first time this afternoon. First down on a 15-yard pickup at the Dolphins' 11-yard line as Joe Willie keeps the drive alive on the 3rd down conversion. Bell splits far side. Maynard to the near side. Boozer and Riggins, the split backs, and behind Joe Willie from the Dolphins' 11. On the snap, hands to Riggins, caught behind the line of scrimmage, breaks the tackle, gets inside the 10, and is going to be halted at about the 9-yard line. Dick Anderson coming up from the strong safety spot. Finally brings him down. Jake Scott also there, along with Doug Swift and Nick Bonaconti. They put the ball at the Dolphins' 9-yard line, so it'll be a gain of 2. 2nd down and 8 yards to go for first down, and about 9 yards to go for a touchdown.
Manny Fernandez and John Schmidt are really having a lot of fun down there. Manny most of the time is lining up head on the center, and boy, he and Schmidt are really having a great battle.
The Dolphins lead 7-0, but Namath knocking on the door with 3 minutes, 20 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Bell splits to the far side. To the near side is Maynard. Riggins and Boozer, the split back. And behind Joe Willie, 2nd and 8 from the Miami 9-yard line. Namath sets his ball club. On the snap, he drops the throw, drops straight back. He fires in the middle. It is caught by the tight end, and he's knocked down at the 1-yard line. Castor, the receiver, he is hit and dropped by Jake Scott just before he got into the end zone. That should be good enough for a first down. It is. Castor receiving from Namath. Picks up a 1st and goal at the Dolphins' 1-yard line. Matheson comes out, and Bob Hines goes back in on the Dolphins' goal line defense. They bring in Jerome Barkham now, the Jets do. They have Rich Castor, Wayne Stewart, who is 6'7", 228, a 4-year man, a tight end, and Barkham in as the blockers up front. All right, 1st and goal for the Jets from the 1-yard line. Here's the handoff. Riggins outside. He's in for the touchdown. John Riggins, sliding over right tackle, gets the score. And so Namath on a long drive, just as he did up at Shea Stadium. And picking up the touchdown is Riggins, his 3rd of the season, his 2nd via the ground route. He's caught one through the air. And Bobby Howfield comes in to try the point from placement. He is a right-footed soccer-style kicker from Great Britain. Bob Davis, the backup quarterback to Namath, will hold. Now a 7-6 ball game. Howfield, 25 out of 26 in the point after department, waiting for the snap. Here it is, set down. The kick is up. And it is good. With 2 minutes and 23 seconds left to go in this first period, Dolphin football action continues from the Orange Bowl with a score on Dolphins 7, the New York Jets 7. Rick Weaver back at the Orange Bowl. Namath took his ball club down an 80-yard drive in 13 plays. He showed him he could move the ball against the Dolphins defense. Riggins scoring from 1 yard out. Outfield converted. It's now a 7-7 game with 2:23 to go in the first quarter. Mercury Morris is deep down the near side. Charlie Lee to the far side, ready to receive Howfield's kickoff. He gets the whistle. He comes forward, the toe into it. It's high. It's not too deep. It'll be grabbed by Morris at the 1 yard line. Out to the 5, straight ahead of the 10, the 15, hurdles the tackler. He is hit, fumbles the ball, but the Dolphins recover it at the 20 yard line. Jim Mandich fell on the ball for Miami, and he was really cracked trying to hurdle the blocking wedge and lost the football, but Mandich, playing heads-up football on the Dolphins specialty team, comes up with it. And there is a man for the Jets laid out on the field. Can't see who it is. There is a timeout. Dolphin football action continues from the Orange Bowl with a score. The Dolphins 7, the Jets 7. Rick Weaver back at the Orange Bowl. The Dolphins, following Morris's 19-yard return, the ensuing fumble recovered by Jim Mandich of our specialty teams, have a first down at our 20-yard line. The man who was shaken up on the play was the man who made the tackle for the New York Jets suicide squad. And he was really shaken up. Roy Kirksey, who plays reserve offensive guard from Maryland Eastern Shore. The Dolphins will put the ball in play now from our 20-yard line, moving from our right to our left with 2:14 left to go in this first quarter. The Jets having just tied it up 7-7. Jim Kick and Larry Zonka are the running backs.
split behind Earl Morrill. Twilley splits to the far side. Otto Stowe to the near side. Dolphins from our 20-yard line. Morrill on count at the line of scrimmage. Hands off. The kick, sweep to the right, cuts back to his left, finds a hole, slips and falls down across the 25, and is contained at the 26. A 6-yard pickup. As Jim started to make his cut that time, he appeared from here to slip. Steve Tannen, the left quarterback, 3-year man from the University of Florida, makes the tackle on the play, and they mark it up the Dolphins' 25, so kick picked up a 5-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 5. 1 minute, 50 seconds left to go in this first quarter. The score tied 7-7. Twilley splits to the far side, and Stowe will set in tight this time as Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid are the I-backs. Now they split off behind Morrill. 2nd and 5. Dolphins from our 25-yard line. Morrill on the snap, hands to kick, and he is hit and dropped at the 26. He never really got those legs pumping, as on a counter he tried to go across the right side and gets only a yard. It's John Elliott, number 80, the 6-year defensive left tackle from, the right tackle from Texas, makes the stop on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Miami from our 26-yard line. 1 minute, 13 seconds left to play in period number 1. The score tied 7-7. The Dolphins, Dick Anderson, intercepted Joe Willie Namath's first pass at the Jets' 33. Took the Dolphins 7 plays to get in. 9-yard pass from Morrill to Twilley. And then Namath marched his club 80 yards in 13 plays, with Riggins scoring from a yard out. Morrill, quick in. It is dropped by Fleming. Marv Fleming, the tight end, was the intended receiver. He was hit almost immediately by safety man W.K. Hicks. The ball dropped to the ground, incomplete, and so the Dolphins, for the first time this afternoon, will have to punt. Larry Seipel comes into the ball game with an average of 39.7 on the season.
Rick, that John Elliott is a big factor in this defensive line of the New York Jets. He's all over that field, and boy, Kuchenberg is finding out that he's really healthy today. He's really playing good defensive football.
Chris Farasopoulos is a deep man, number 19. He has a punt return average of 13.5, which is very high in league statistics. He has run one back for a touchdown. Line of scrimmage, the 26. Seipel stands at the 11. Here's the snap. With the wind behind him, he booms a beauty out of there. A long spiral. Farasopoulos grabs it back at the 29 to the 30. He is cracked at the 33, 34-yard line. He was really smeared by Mike Colon of the Dolphins specialty team. Captain Crunch stuck that helmet right into his midsection. A 4-yard return. As Seipel got off a dandy punt that time, the trajectory was a little bit low, and so a run back ensued. Punt of some 45 yards. Here is Bell now, splitting to the far side with just 34 seconds to go in this first quarter. Maynard splits to the near side. Riggins and Boozer are the split backs behind Namath from the 33. He drops the throw, swings a pass out. Riggins got it at the 30 on the far side. Breaks the tackle and is ridden out of bounds at the 39-yard line on the far side of the field by linebacker Doug Swift. A 6-yard pickup as Namath goes to the sideline. And hitting the man out of the backfield, fullback John Riggins. A 6-yard pickup on the pass completion, and that'll bring up a 2nd down, and we'll call it 4. For the Jets from their 39. 22 seconds with the clock stopped. Left to play in this first quarter. The Dolphins drew first blood, and Joe Willie marched his ball club 80 yards in 13 plays, with Riggins scoring from 1 yard out to tie it up. Here in this first quarter, nip and tuck, back and forth so far. Bell splits to the far side. Maynard to the near side. 2nd down and 4. Jets ball from their 39. They've got to get up to their 43 for a first down. Namath hands to Riggins, tries to thread his way through the middle, and he gets no place. He might have gotten a yard to the 40, but he is smothered by white jerseys, Hines, Bonaconte, everybody there.
Rick, Miami's really throwing a strange defense up against the Jets here. Would you believe a regular 4-3?
The ball at the New York 40-yard line. It'll be a 3rd down and 3 coming up.
We have just 1 second.
And no time showing on the board. That's the end of the first quarter. Dolphin football action continues from the Orange Bowl with a score, our Dolphins 7 and the New York Jets 7. 3rd down and 3. Let's see what Joe Willie comes up with from his 40-yard line. Ed Bell splits to the near side, Maynard to the far side. Boozer and Riggins remain the split backs behind Namath. Jets ball, 3rd down and 3 from their 40 as we get ready to start the second quarter with a score tied 7-7. On the snap, here's a draw play. Riggins is thrown for a loss at the 38-yard line. That blocking really jammed up in front of him. He was coming on a slant over the left side. On a draw, Bob Matheson jammed it up and made the tackle. And they put it down at the 39, so he loses a yard and forces a punting situation. 4th down coming up. As the Dolphin defense from the right side, Matheson was right there to jam it up.
And we've got Jake Scott for the first time back as the deep man this year on the punch. Dick Anderson, the shallow man. Charlie Lee has been employed throughout the beginning of this season as the deep man on punts for the Dolphins. Jake Scott led the league in punt return yardage last year with 318. And so for the first time, Jake Scott goes back as the deep man to field his punt. Dick Anderson, the shallow man. Steve O'Neill is the punter. He has a 39-yard average. The line of scrimmage, the Jets 39, and he will stand at the 24. Scott can fly. He runs with reckless abandon. Waiting for the snap. Here it is. Plenty of time. He booms a long, high spiral, forcing Scott back. He will grab the ball back at the 8-yard line, straight ahead of the 10. Finds a hole up across the 20, and he's knocked down at the 22. Good return by Jake. Tackle on the play made by Ed Gallagher.
You can see how eager Jake was to run that ball, Rick. Actually, any other back probably would let it go over his head and run into the end zone, but Jake was going to get an opportunity to run it back, and he was going to catch that ball.
43-yard punt that time by Steve O'Neill, and we got a timeout on the field. Dolphin football action continues from the Orange Bowl with the score, our Dolphins 7, the Jets 7. Rick Weaver back at the Orange Bowl. Jake Scott shaken up on that last punt return. The Dolphins have a first down at our 22-yard line. Morrill has Morris and Zonka, the running backs, Pulley and Stowe, the wide receivers. Play fake. He drops the throw. He is firing up the near side. Morris swimming, drops the ball at the 43-yard line. He was wide open, cutting across the middle to the near side of the field. Morrill, at least from this angle, appeared to have it on target, and it went right through his hand. Fleming, the tight end, the intended receiver, so it's a long incompletion and brings up the second down and 10. Morris and Zonka remain the running backs. Twilly and Otto Stowe starting in place of Paul Warfield, who probably could play today if we needed him, but the Dolphins don't want to take the chance with that ankle injury and the swollen arch that he suffered from all week. Is on the bench, so Otto Stowe has been the other wide receiver filling in for Warfield this afternoon. On second down and 10. Morrill brings his ball club out. The Dolphins operating from our 22-yard line, moving from our left to our right. We're in the second quarter, score tied 7-7. Morrill drops straight back to throw, looks. He is firing deep down the near side. Pulley's down here. He's got it and out of bounds up the Jets' 41-yard line, and they call it incomplete. Holy Toledo. He certainly appeared from here to have both feet in. Henry?
Rick, I was right in front of the play, and Twilly's right foot was on the white out of bounds.
Okay, the official right on top of the play. They can see it a lot better than we can, but it sure looked from up here. He sure had his man beaten on the play, Tennant, and apparently had 1 foot out of bounds.
Rick, and we'll pretty much see Earl Morrill going to Howard Twilly whenever he needs that sure yardage, because you can always feel that Twilly will catch that ball if you get it near him.
All right, a third down and 10 for the Dolphins off the pass that was ruled incomplete. Went out of bounds at the Jets' 42. Third and 10, Dolphins from our 22-yard line. Stowe splits far side, Twilly to the near side. Zonka and Morris split backs in behind Earl Morrill. Earl dropping the throw again. Good protection. Fires. It is caught by Otto Stowe. He is down, gets up, and is knocked down after he picked up the first down at the Miami 39-yard line. Mike Taylor, one of the 4 linebackers being employed by the Jets, is the man who contained him. Otto caught the ball. Was not knocked down. He was on the ground, fell down, and then got up and then was contained. The ball is placed out at the Miami 38-yard line, so Morrill hits Stowe with a 16-yard pass reception for a first down up at the Miami 38. 13 minutes, 13 seconds left to play in the half. Score tied 7-7. Zonka and Morris in the eye. Twilly, a wingman off the right side as Stowe is set in tight this time. Here's a fake handoff, pitch to Morris. He fumbles the ball, and who's got it? Still loose, back up the Dolphins' 34-yard line. They still have it on file. We have just received the signal from the officials that the Jets recover the ball. That was a fake handoff to Zonka in the middle, the pitch to Mercury Morris. He never did have the handle on it, and the Jets recovered.
Merck was going so fast out there, Rick, around that left side. He never did have full control of that ball. He bobbled it all the way, and then finally got hit. Away went the ball.
The Jets recovered. And let's see where they're going to put the football down. They mark it at the Miami 37-yard line. We got a timeout on the field. Dolphin football action continues from the Orange Bowl with a score. Our Dolphins 7, the Jets 7. This is Rick Weaver with Lou Creekmer and Henry Barrow back at the Orange Bowl. An unfortunate break for the Dolphins on the fumble pitch out by Morris. The Jets recovered and are within field goal range. They have a first down at the Miami 37. So the pressure is on the Dolphins' no-name defense. Don Maynard splits to the far side. Bell to the near side. Riggins and Boozy are set in the eye behind Joe Namath. Waiting for the snap.
here it is. On the delay, Boozer hits the middle and gets to about the 33-yard line. Gain of about 4 on the play. Nick Bonicani from the middle linebacker spot was the man who made the initial contact. And they're going to put the ball down at the Dolphins' 33. Bob Matheson also in on the tackle. Gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. We have 12 minutes and 36 seconds left to go. 2nd and 6. Here's the handoff. Boozer sweep to the right. Cuts back to his left inside the 30 and knocked out at the 29-yard line. Emerson Boozer, the ball carrier, following behind John Riggins. Tim Foley, the left quarterback for Miami, makes the tackle on the play. Both clubs have been guilty of turning the football over here in this first half. The Dolphins' Dick Anderson intercepted a Joe Namath pass, and the Dolphins converted it into a touchdown. And that's where it stands right now, 7-7. Let's see if the Jets can capitalize on that recovered fumble. It'll be a 3rd down and 2. The ball at the Miami 29-yard line. Maynard splits far side. Bell to the near side. Boozer and Riggins, the split backs in behind Namath. 3rd and 2 from the Miami 29. Namath drops back to throw. Has time, fires in the middle, a man open, touchdown, Jets. Rich Castor, the tight end. Namath on torques a TD pass, a 29-yard. Castor off the far side on a deep slant over the middle, ran a post pattern, and he hit him at about the 4-yard line. He was inside the defensive back and just raced untouched into the end zone. Dick Anderson, I believe, was the man who got beat on the play. So the Jets quickly convert that recovered fumble into 6 points, and Bobby Howfield is in to try the point from placement. Holding will be Bob Davis. Now a 13-7 ball game. Waiting for the snap. Here it is, set down. The kick is up, and it is perfect. With 11 minutes and 32 seconds left to go in this first half, the Jets take the lead by a score of 14-7. We are all caught up with our commercials, so we will hold it here as the crowd of 80,010 sets stunned as the Dolphins are trailing in this ball game. A 37-yard drive took them just 3 plays after they recovered that fumble at the Dolphins' 37-yard line, and Castor was the recipient of a 29-yard touchdown pass from Joe Namath. Here is the kick. He gets it high. It will be back in the end zone, and they'll let it roll out of the end zone for the automatic touchback until the Dolphins will start from our 20-yard line. The Jets with a 37-yard drive, 3 plays, and Castor the recipient of a Joe Namath 29-yard touchdown pass. And the Jets lead by a score of 14-7. As Morrow will try to get something started here. 80 yards away. The Dolphins moving from our left to our right with a first down at our 20-yard line. Mercury Morris and Larry Zonka will be the running backs. Howard Twilley and Otto Stowe, the wide receivers. As they break out of the huddle, Meyer Fleming is the tight end. Stowe splits off a couple of yards to the far side, and now Twilley racing to get into position before the ball is snapped. Sets as a wide man to the far side. 2 double wide receivers split to the far side of the field. In the eye, here's the pitch to Morris. He sweeps to the left. He does not get the corner turn. A fine defensive play by cornerback Phil Wise, who came up and tripped him up before he could get the corner turn. And the Dolphins wind up losing yardage. As we remarked before the ball game, this Jets defense against the rush has come on in the last couple of weeks, and this week's statistics in the AFC, they find themselves in 3rd place behind only the Dolphins and the Denver Broncos in defense against the rush. And they are giving Morrow a lot of different looks with those 4 linebackers, 2 safeties, and a 3 deep zone. The ball is back at the 17-yard line. A loss of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 13. Jets lead 14-7. We have 10:50 to play in the first half. Stowe splits far side, Twilley to the near side. Morris and Zonka, the split backs, behind Morrow. He drops straight back to throw. Swings a pass out. It is caught by Mercury at the 10. The screen gets the block, gets up to the 20, and is knocked down at the 22. A gain of about 5 as they really jammed up the screen.
That's an ideal time to call that screen. Earl must have known they were going to shoot all those linebacks because they really blitzed on that. So this gave Merck the opportunity to get by them. They were coming in.
W.K. Hicks and Gus Holloman, the 2 safeties, were the man who brought Morris down. Fleming comes out. Mandich goes in at tight end. Dolphins have the ball at our 22. It'll be a 3rd down and 8. 3rd down and 8 for Miami at our 22-yard line. And this Jets defense has really stiffened since they took the lead. They did not force that fumble that Morris made. It was he never did have control of the ball. Twilley and Stowe set his double wide receivers to the far side. Morris and Zonka, the split backs. Behind Morrow, play fake. He sprints back to his left, being rushed. Flag goes down. He sets up, firing down the far sideline. It is incomplete. Intended for Stowe. There's a flag on the play back at the 17 or 18-yard line. As Morrow, play fake, sprinted back out to his left, was being pursued. And we're going to get a holding call on Larry Zonka, the Dolphins, which will set them back. Zonka has been detected holding on the pass protection
That is, if the Jets want it. If they don't want it, it'll be a fourth down and force the Dolphins to give up the football. They decline it. And so the Dolphins holding infraction called on Zonka, presumably, is declined by New York, and the punting unit comes on. Larry Seifel will kick. Back as the deep man is Chris Farasopoulos, and the shallow man is W.K. Hicks, number 33. The line of scrimmage, the Dolphins 22, and Seifel stands back at the 7-yard line. 9:48 to go in the first half. Jets lead 14-7. Here is the snap. Seifel doesn't get much of a rush. He gets a high and over in kick downfield. It is grabbed by Farasopoulos at the 37, trying to find a hole, and he's dropped right there by the Dolphins coverage unit on the specialty teams. And the first man down there was Charlie Babb. Charlie Babb along with Jim Mandich. Mandich has done a good job on punt and kickoff coverage today. No return. And so the Jets will start from their 37-yard line. Farasopoulos, who plays normally at the weak safety as a deep man in all punt situations and sometimes runs back kickoffs, during his college days out of Brigham Young, led the NCAA in kickoff returns. Jerome Barkham is in the ball game. Ed Bell, they are the wide receivers. Barkham, the big rookie from Jackson State, splits to the far side. Bell to the near side. Riggins and Boozer, the split backs behind Namath. And Joe has a first down for his ball club from their 37. He makes the pass and hands off to Riggins on the draw, slamming across the left side and gets no place. He is hit by Nick Bonacani and defensive end Bill Stanfield. No gain on the play. And it'll be a second down coming up, and, well, I guess they're going to give him a yard. They put it up the 38-yard line. So it'll be a second down and 9. Hines comes out, and Matheson goes in on the Dolphins' 53. 8 minutes, 53 seconds left to go in the half. Maynard is back in the ball game, and he splits off to the far side. Bell is the wide receiver near side. Riggins and Boozer, the split backs, in behind Joe Willie from their 38-yard line. Second down and 9. Namath sets his ball club on the snap. The pitch goes to Riggins. Sweep to the right behind Winston Hill. Turns back to his left, gets across the 40, up to the 45 to the 46-yard line. That'll be a yard shy of about what they need for a first down. Dick Anderson, the safety man, coming across, made the tackle for Miami, along with Doug Swift. He picks up about 8 yards on the play. That'll be about a yard shy of a first down. And it'll bring up a third down and 1. They bring in the three, what they employ as a 3 tight end blocking unit up front. Rich Castor, Wayne Stewart, and Jerome Barkham stays in the ball game as Ed Bell goes out. 7:59 to go in the half. Namath with a 3rd and 1 from his 46-yard line. The last time they were in this situation, they didn't make it, as Riggins was thrown for a loss. Let's see what develops this time from the Jets' 46. Namath looks over the defense, sets on the snap. Here's the handoff. Riggins over the left side, got a hole. 50, 45, 40, 35 to the 30, down inside the 25 to the 20, hanging on for dear life of the Dolphins defense, Tim Foley, and they finally drag him down at the Miami 15-yard line. Holy Toledo, what a run by Riggins. Vern Denherter was also back on the play, but Riggins on a 3rd and 1 runs all the way down to the Dolphins' 15-yard line, a gain of some 39 yards, and the Jets are within striking distance again with a first down at the Miami 15.
Rick, that's one of the finest running backs you and I have seen all year this year. Boy, that was really a great run, carrying everybody.
Foley had him by his jersey sleeve and was hanging on for dear life. Bell split near side. Maynard to the far side. Riggins and Boozer, the split backs in behind Namath. First down from the Dolphins' 15-yard line. On the snap, Joe Willie looks left, back to throw, fires in the middle. It is intercepted. Boy, Bonacani at the 10. He runs for the far sideline, runs it out of bounds. At the
16. Nick Bonacani with more pride than he can contain in his body. The Dolphins' defensive captain and middle linebacker gets his first interception of the year. Stops Namath's drive. That's the second time Joe Willie has been intercepted. He picked that ball off back at the 8-yard line. It was a slant over the middle, and Bonacani got in front of the intended receivers, and he runs it out to the 16. So the Dolphins now trying to get some offense started with a first down at our 16-yard line. So and Twilly are double wide receivers to the near side. Zonka and Morris, the split backs behind Morrill. Handoff to Zonka through a hole. Big hole, 25, up to the 30, and he's knocked down at the 30-yard line. Tackled by W.K. Hicks, playing at the weak safety. First down for Miami. Zonka rambles to 14. And what a hole he had over that right side. Larry Little, Jim Langer just blasted people in front of them. The Dolphins on the move now, and that pass interception could really turn this thing around, give the Dolphins momentum. Dolphins first down at our 30. 6 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the first half. Jets lead 14-7. Morris and Zonka split off now. Twilly sets his little wingman to the near side. Morrill on the snap. Hands to Morris. Through a hole to the right side, and he's not going to get very far. Out to the 33. Those legs of his driving like pistons, but the linebackers close the hole. Ed Gallagher, defensive tackle, along with Mike Taylor from the linebacker spot, makes the stop for New York. Gain of 3. It'll be second down and 7 for Miami. The ball at our 33, and the fans begin to clap it up. Offense, offense. Dolphins took again. Scored first on a Dick Anderson pass interception. 33-yard drive. Twilly scoring after a pass from Morrill, and then Namath took his ball club on a long drive. Riggins scoring, and then off a Dolphin fumble recovered by the Jets. Here's the pitch going to Morris. Sweep to the near side. 35, 40 as he cuts back to his left. Fumbles the ball, and the Dolphins recover. That's the second time that Merck has lost. Actually, the third time that he's coughed it up this afternoon. The Dolphins recover, I believe, Dutch Prusan, the left tackle, is the man who fell on it at the 41, Jim Langer. And the Dolphins retain possession of the ball as Morris was hit hard and coughed it up. But the Dolphins recover the ball at the 41, and that is good enough for a Miami first down. He was really smacked. Jim Mandich comes in at tight end, replacing Marv Fleming. 5 minutes, 3 seconds to go in this first half. The Jets lead 14-7. Nick Bonicani just intercepted Joe Namath for the second time this afternoon to stop a New York drive. Stowe splits far side, Twilly to the near side. Morris and Zonka, the split back. And behind Morrow. Dolphins first down, mark 41. Play fake as he drops the throw. He's firing for Mandich. It is picked off by Hicks at the 50. Down the far side, 40, 30. Down to the 25. Gets the block at the 20. He is hit and knocked down at the Dolphins' 9-yard line. W.K. Hicks picked that pass off and intended for the tight end.
Your best bet for a beautiful Buick is at William Lehman Buick, the dealer you can believe in. William Lehman Buick, 163rd Street in North Miami Beach.
WIOD, Miami.
That's a great play on behalf of Hicks, actually, Rick. That ball was thrown right there. It should have been right in Manich's hands. But Hicks just cut in front and just took that ball right away from him. Beautiful play.
That for Morrow is his 4th pass interception of the season. The ball is at the 9-yard line. With 4 minutes and 31 seconds to go, the Jets have a first and goal situation now. The Dolphins drive stopped by a good Jets defense. Maynard splits to the far side. Bell to the near side. Riggins and Boozer in behind Namath. First and goal from the Miami 9-yard line. Off Hicks' 41-yard return of an Earl Morrill interception. Waiting for the snap. Here is the handoff to Boozer. Sweep to the left side. He does not get the corner turn. He has dumped right at the 9-yard line. Perhaps lost a little yardage. Curtis Johnson, the right quarterback spot, is the man who made the initial contact, and Boozer is shaken up on the play. He really hit him. Dick Anderson also came up to assist, and Boozer is down. And it looks like a leg.
Looks like that right knee again, Rick. That's the knee he's been having a problem with.
He lost the yard. They put it down at the Miami 10. So it'll be second down and goal to go from the 10-yard line, and time is out on the field. Emerson Boozer, the fine running back for the New York Jets, who's had problems with his legs all season long, has injured his right knee or his right ankle, and is going to leave the ball game with an assist from the Jets training staff. He appears to be walking all right, but he has a pronounced limp. 3:56 to go in the half. Second down and goal from the 10. The Jets lead 14-7. The Dolphins in a fight for their lives this afternoon. Bell splits to the near side. Maynard off to the far side. McLean and Riggins are the split backs behind Namath. Second and goal from the 10. Joe Willie drops the throw. He is being rushed. Pass knocked down on the pass rush. And there's a flag on the play down at the 3-yard line. And one of the New York Jets is being pointed at. That pass was knocked down, I believe, by Bob Hines coming in on the pass rush.
Rick, that was a planned screen. He had the man right over the middle throwing him the screen there. The line was all ready to go as soon as he caught the ball, but one of the linemen knocked it down.
Cliff McLean, who just came in for Boozer, has been detected as pushing off, and the preliminary signal is offensive pass interference against the New York Jets. That pass, as Namath jumped in the air and tried to unload it in the middle, was batted down by the Dolphins pass rush for an incompletion, but detected in the end zone as interfering with the defensive man's opportunity at the ball was Cliff McLean. And so the Jets are assessed a 15-yarder. Boozer is okay. He comes back in replacing McLean. Mumford and Matheson come in for the Dolphins. The ball is placed down at the Miami 25. From where it'll be second down and goal from the 25-yard line. 3 minutes, 36 seconds to go in this first half. The Jets with a 14-7 lead. The Dolphins trying to keep them out. As W.K. Hicks
Just picked off an Earl Morrall pass, ran it back 41 yards. Maynard splits far side. Bell to the near side. Boozer and Riggins. The split back in behind Joe Willie Namath. The ball at the Dolphins' 25-yard line. Second and goal from the 25. They cannot get a first down out of this drive. Here's a handoff. Boozer on the delay. He tries to turn the corner, and he does not get the job done. As Vern Denherter, the big second-year left end, threw his 250 pounds into Boozer and threw him for a loss back at the 26-yard line. So it'll be third down and goal from the Dolphins' 26. They have not been able to run with any proficiency against this Dolphin defense. Namath has had to strike through the air. They did score their first down on a 1-yard scamper by Riggins, but it's been the pass that Namath and his reading of the Dolphin defense that has been the problem that Miami is going to have to overcome. Third down, 26. Third and goal from the 26. Maynard split right. Bell to the near side. Boozer and Riggins in behind Namath. He fakes the handoff, drops the throw. Excellent protection, firing deep down in the near corner. Maynard is down there, out of bounds, incomplete. Namath threw the ball way over Maynard's head, down in the far corner. Back covering on the play was defensive back Lloyd Mumford, so they bring in the field goal team now with a fourth and goal from the Miami 26-yard line. Now let's keep our eyes peeled in case we can get a block here for the Dolphins specialty team. Cleveland leads Pittsburgh 10-3 first quarter. Baltimore, Cincinnati 10-10 at the half. This will be a 33-yard attempt by Howfield, who on the season is 14 out of 18. Holding is Davis. Snap, set down, the kick is up. He's got the distance, and it's perfect. So Howfield comes in as he got good protection up front and gets a 33-yard field goal. The Jets move out to a 10-point lead now with a 17-7 score. 2 minutes and 41 seconds left to go in this first half. What's going on down on the Dolphins bench?
A lot of, I guess the best way to call it is these guys are mad. They don't feel they've been doing their job, and the scoreboard shows they haven't. They're very disgusted, especially the offensive line, disgusted with themselves. Think they've got to do a better job.
All right, the Dolphins getting whipped 17-7, and they have made a couple of mistakes, a pass interception and a fumble recovery. Howfield's 33-yard field goal culminated that 9-yard drive, 3 plays. What set it up was W.K. Hicks's 41-yard return of a pass interception from Earl Morrall. Charlie Lee, Mercury Morris deep to receive Howfield's kick. 2:41 to go in the half. 10 points down to the Dolphins. Here is the kick. It's high. It is not too deep. We may or may not get a run down. Charlie Lee decides, a run back rather. He decides not to run it back. Grabs it about 5 yards deep in the end zone, and so the touchback is whistled, and the Dolphins will start 80-yard delay for the first down at our 20-yard line with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left to go in its first half. This was figured to be a tough ball game, but the Jets have really capitalized on Dolphin mistakes, and they have made just a couple, but the Dolphins were able to capitalize only on that first one and convert it into points. All right, Stowe splits left. Fully to the near side. Hand off Mercury Morris. Cuts that side. Gets the corner turned, and that's about all. To the near side of the field. Did a lot of running as he slanted off the right side and picks up a yard. To the 21. Steve Tannen, the left cornerback, makes the tackle on the play. The Jets fighting for their lives for a playoff berth. And thus far, they have had the advantage.
Something happened to Mertz interference on that last play. Ricky came out there pretty much all by himself. The only man out in front of him was Twilly.
Second down and 9. Dolphins from our 21 coming up with a 2-minute warning. Here is Morrow dropping the throw. He is looking in the middle. Twilly makes the grab at the 40. Is knocked out at the 44. Howard Twilly with a great reception inside the quarterback. Again, he beat Steve Tannen. And W.K. Hicks had to make the tackle. They mark it at the 43-yard line in Dolphins territory. There is the 2-minute warning. Dolphin football action continues from the Orange Bowl with the score, the Jets 17 and our Dolphins 7. If the Orange Bowl time is still out, Howard Twilly, a 21-yard pass reception from Earl Morrall. A great reception inside the defense and inside cornerback Steve Tannen. First down Dolphins at our 43. Morrall is 5 out of 9 so far and has thrown 1 interception with 1 touchdown pass. Twilly has caught 2 for a total of 31 yards unofficially. Dolphins now with 2 minutes to go in the half, trailing 17-7 with a first down at our 43-yard line. And we have not been able to maneuver the ball into Jets territory except for that initial pass interception. Stowe splits left, Twilly to the near side. Here's a handoff. Zonka busts the middle. 50, puts his head down and booms his way to the 46 in New York territory. Great trap blocking up front by the Dolphins front line. Tackle made by safety man W.K. Hicks.
That is good for another first down. As they put the ball down at the Miami 46, the Dolphins in their 2-minute offense do not huddle. First down at the Jets 45.5-yard line, actually is where it is. Morrill drops back to throw. Now sets up. He is firing deep for 20 down the near side. He's open. He's got it. Did he get in? No, he's out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Steve Tannen, the left quarterback, pushed him out, but Howard had him skinned. He had him skinned alive as Morrill laid the ball right on him at the 10, and he was pushed out at the 1-yard line. 44 yards on the pass completion from Morrill to Howard Twilley, who has been the principal pass receiver. Marv Fleming and Jim Bandage, the two tight ends, are in, so the Dolphins strike quickly. A first and goal at the Jets 1.
If Twilley could play against Tannen every single weekend, Rick, I'll tell you, he'd be one of the greatest in the entire league.
From my point of view, he is. All right, Zonka and Morris, the I-backs, in the tight blocking formation. Here's the handoff. Zonka, fumble at the goal line as he is upended. Let's see who got it. Zonka tried to hurdle. He was upended. Heels over elbows. The ball squirted loose, and the Dolphins recovered the ball. Bob Kuchenberg, the left guard, I think, is the man who got it. He did not make it into the end zone. They put it down at the Jets 1-yard line. A second and goal from the 1 with 1 minute and 10 seconds to go in the half. Jets lead 17-7. Zonka never fumbles. He was hit so hard that time that he did, and Kuchenberg, I believe, fell on it. Zonka and Morris to the split backs as they have the power blocking unit up front. Here's the handoff to Larry. Puts his head down, driving people with him. He did not get into the end zone. He is stopped short over the left side at the 1-foot line. John Ebersole, a linebacker. Mike Taylor, a linebacker. When Zonka cannot ram his way in, this is a tough defense. Third down and goal. And Miami calls a timeout to stop the clock and also to get together their offensive strategy as Morrill will come over to discuss the situation with Don Shula. 43-second show on the board. The ball is at about the half-yard line. It'll be third down. Miami needs a touchdown here, as Morrill just completed a 44-yarder to Twilley, who was rammed out on the 1-yard line. And the Jets not giving up without a fight, putting up a great goal line defense. They have stopped Zonka twice. The ball is at their half-yard line. When time is in, it'll be third down, and will have to be called a yard to go, since that's the way that they measure in the NFL, no half-yard measurements. And the Jets leading 17-7. At 43 seconds left to go in the half. Dolphins offensive mistakes, an intercepted pass, and a recovered fumble have keyed the Jets' drives this afternoon. And Morris has coughed up the ball 3 times. Morrill comes back in now into the huddle. Zonka has fumbled once. The ball at the half-yard line. They break out of the huddle. That power blocking unit in there. Twilley is a wingman to the near side. Morris and Zonka remain the split backs. Third down, a yard to go for a touchdown. Here's Morrill, handoff to Mercury. He's got it. Touchdown over the right side. Here come the handkerchiefs. We haven't had a chance to use them much this afternoon. I'll tell you, this Jets team is really fired up. Mercury Morris over the right side gets his 10th touchdown of the year. A good hole for him. And Garo Yepremian comes in to try the point from placement. Morrill will hold with 40 seconds left to go in this first half. Now, 17-13. Yepremian can make it 14. The kick is up. And it is perfect. So with 40 seconds left to go, this first half, the Dolphins will kick off, trailing now by 3 points. The score, the Jets 17 and our Dolphins 14. Here's Lou Quickmer.
Rick, we talk about that defensive line down there. They really gave Larry a hard time on that play, and even on this one when Merck went over, he hit up against Gary Philbin, and boy, really it was a collision. When Larry came back to the huddle, he had to put his head down for a few minutes because it was really a collision.
Larry Little will be our guest on Dial the Dolphins on Rick Weaver Talk Sports on WIOD, our talk show Monday night at 8 o'clock. Larry was honored last night by the Urban League in Miami with the Humanitarian of the Year Award. Deservedly so, because of his great work with the Gold Coast Boys Camp here in the summertime. Barasopoulos and Wise are the deep men. Here's a squibber. It is knocked down by one of the blocking wedge men, picked up at the 20, across the 25, and is dropped at the 26-yard line. The man who picked it up was Bill Zapalak, who's a linebacker and also a defensive lineman. So the Jets will start from their 26-yard line as Garo squibbed one. They have 35 seconds showing on the board left to play in this first half. The Jets came to play, and the Dolphins are in a battle. It's 17-14 with the Jets out in front. We have 28 seconds, 27 left to go in this first half as the clock is running. Jets will start from their 26. Cliff McLean and John Riggins are the running backs, as Barkham is the wide receiver, and he splits to the far side. They will have time for maybe one play. Bell is the wide receiver split near side. 10 seconds, 9 seconds. Namath looks around. They may not get it off even. 6 seconds. He hasn't set his ball club. Now he does. And they're going to get assessed a 5-yard penalty for delay of the game. What Namath does, he brings his ball club up to the line of scrimmage. They get not into a 3-point stance. They set in a ready set with the hands on the knees. And then just before the snap, he sets them in the 3-point stance. 5-yard penalty stops the clock with 4 seconds to go in the half. And the ball will be placed down on the delay of the game call back at the 21-yard line. Barkham is out and Maynard is in as a wide receiver. McLean and Riggins remain the rushing backs. 1st and 15, Jets ball from their 21. Just time for one play before the end of the half. Here's a handoff to Riggins over the right side, and Bill Stanfill will contain him and wrestle him out of bounds for no gain as the half ends. That's the end of the first half. With the score, the New York Jets 17, our Miami Dolphins 14. We'll be back with halftime comments after these announcements. A 26-yard kickoff return average, and Charlie Lee a 17-yard average. Are the deep men to receive Howfield's kickoff, and the third quarter is underway. He gets his toe into it and rips it deep, way back into the end zone and out of the end zone, and so there will be no run back. And the kickoffs have been very good this afternoon on both sides, as the Dolphins will start from our 20-yard line, moving from our right to our left. The offensive line, Langer at center, Kuchenberg and Little at the guard, Evans and Crusan at the tackles. The wide receivers will be Stowe and Twilley. Mara Fleming, the tight end, Morrill, the quarterback, and Mercury Morris and Larry Zonka will be the running backs. The Jets defense, Philbin, Little, Elliott, and Lomas, the front four. We'll give you the rest of them as soon as we can. Morrill brings his ball club out. To the near side is Stowe. To the far side is Twilley. Morris is the slot man right. Zonka, the lone back, in behind Morrill. First down. The Dolphins 20. Here's the handoff to Zonka. Sweep to the right, cuts back to his left. He's got 5 out to the 25-yard line. Larry Zonka, the Dolphins' principal ball carrier in the first half, tackled by linebacker Mike Taylor. Gain of 5 on the play. It'll be second down and 5 coming up. The Jets have been employing Al Atkinson and Graham as linebackers, along with Taylor, and interchanging Taylor and Baker, and also utilizing a defensive back, Phil Wise, as the fourth linebacker. Steve Tannen, Early Thomas, the quarterbacks, and the safety man has been Gus Holloman. A second down and 5 for the Dolphins from their 25-yard line. Here's the handoff going to Mercury Morris. Finds a hole on the left side. He runs right into a tackler and gets only 2 yards. He's decided to cut outside, and he cut back to his right. He might have been able to pick up the first down. It'll be a third down and 2. The tackle made by Phil Wise. And the ball is marked down at the Dolphins' 27-yard line. Jim Mandich comes in, and Marv Fleming goes out at tight end. Mandich, a third-year man from Michigan, has caught 2 touchdown passes for the Dolphins this season. 13 minutes, 50 seconds to play in the third period. Twilley splits far side, Stowe to the near side. Dolphins trail 17-14. A third and 3 from our 27. Waiting for the snap from center as Zonka and Morris are in an I formation. Here's a handoff. Zonka hits the middle. He is not going to make the first down as he's tackled at the 29-yard line. About a yard shy, Ralph Baker, the 9-year veteran from Penn State, in the linebacker spot, waiting for him. And so the Dolphins punting unit comes in. Dolphins not able to move the football on the ground against the Jets' rushing defense. And they got only 57 yards rushing in the first half. On that first sequence, back to field the punt will go Chris Farrell-Sopoulos, number 19. And the shallow man is the W.K. Hicks, number 33. Line of scrimmage, the Dolphin 29, Larry Seipel, will stand at the 14-yard line, waiting for the snap. All right, here it is. As Seipel gets the kickoff, a low trajectory spiral to the near side of the field. Farrell-Sopoulos makes a fair catch of it at the 30-yard line. As getting off a 41-yard punt is Larry Seipel, and the Jets will start from their 30-yard line. Moving from our left to our right, Maynard and Eddie Bell will be the wide receivers, Namath the quarterback, and Cliff McLean and John Riggins will be the running backs. Boozer was shaken up in the first half. He came back in for a play or two, but has not made it a reappearance. The Jets with a 17-14 lead. Now you can feel it, the pressure from the crowd as they
Want that defense to hold. Namath with a first down from his 30-yard line. He splits Maynard out a couple more yards to the near side of the field. Now sets his ball club. On the snap, hands to Riggins over the left side, and he runs right into Manny Fernandez at the 32-yard line. A gain of 2. Also in on the stop, Mick Bonicatti. The Dolphins middle linebacker, a gain of about 2 on the play. It'll be second down and 8 coming up. Bonicatti has an interception, and Dick Anderson also an interception. W.K. Hicks, the interception for the Jets on Earl Morrill in that first half. The ball at the 32-yard line in Jets territory, a second down and 8. Namath brings his ball club out. They lead 17-14. Eddie Bell splits to the far side. To the near side is Maynard. McLean and Riggins are the splitbacks. In behind Namath. He's up under center. He hasn't set his ball club yet.
Now he sets them.
On the snap, here is the pitch going to McLean. Sweep to the left. Stanfield's got him. Curtis Johnson is up there, and he's throwing for a loss back at the 30-yard line. He never did get the corner turn, moving to the far side of the field. Stanfield grabbed him and held on, and Johnson came up and rappy-cacked him. So that brings up a third down and 10 situation as they lost 2, and Mumford and Matheson come in on the Dolphins defense as Hines and Bonicatti come out.
You like to feel that you can actually leave that defensive end alone, Rick, on an offensive play like that, and your back can run around them. But with Stanfield, you can't get out there. He's just too fast. Big, but fast.
All right, let's see if Namath can convert this one. He has to get just across the 40-yard line for a first down. Bell splits far side. Maynard to the near side. He's going to throw straight back. He swings a pass out. Riggins drops it. Incomplete. He was spinning around trying to get his pivot foot on the ground so he could take off after he caught the ball. But the ball bounced off his fingertips on a near side flare, and it drops to the ground harmlessly, incomplete, and so the punting unit comes on. Doug Swift, Dick Anderson right there to cover for the Dolphins. Jake Scott is back as the deep man to field Steve O'Neill's punt, and Dick Anderson will be the shallow man for the Dolphins. Now this wind is blowing across the stadium now, according to the way the flag is going. The line of scrimmage, the 30, standing back at the 15 is Steve O'Neill, the punter for the New York Jets. Here is the snap. He gets the kick away. Low trajectory spiral. Jake Scott will take it back at the Dolphins 24. Up the near side. 30. And he's knocked out at the 35. An 11-yard return on a 45-yard punt by O'Neill. Well, they'll mark it at the 34, so give him a 10-yard return. 10 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in this third quarter of action. The Dolphins have the football back. There is a timeout on the field. Dolphin football action continues from the Orange Bowl with a score. The Jets 17, our Dolphins 14. Rick Weaver at the Orange Bowl later scores the Giants, the Cardinals, the Dolphins' next opponent a week from tomorrow night. 0-0 first quarter. San Francisco leads the Bears 7-0 first quarter. The rest are as we gave them to you earlier. Morrill brings the ball club up. First down, Dolphins at our 34-yard line. Stowe to the near side, 20 to the far side. Hand off to Morris. Sweep to the left side. He shakes off a tackler, digs and drives his way up to about the 40-yard line. I'll tell you, these guys are really cracking out there, and it's no place for a boy. John Elliott, 6-year veteran from Texas, defensive tackle, and at fourth linebacker, Phil Wise. A gain of 6 for Mercury Morris, and he had to work for every inch of it. It'll be a second down and 4. Henry?
Something they've been looking for from Otto Stowe. He showed on that one. He put a beautiful block on Gus Holloman.
10 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. Neither club able to move the ball in their first offensive sequence in this third quarter. The Dolphins trying to achieve a first down here from our 40-yard line. Second down at 4. Hand off to Morris. Sweep to the right behind Larry Little. Gets the block. Turns the corner. Up to the 45. Up to the 50. He's out of bounds in Jets territory at the 47-yard line. Larry Little just devastated a man over there. W.K. Hicks is the man who took him, who made the tackle on the play, but Little, as Mercury running right up his back, just pushed him right into the man, and Larry just drove him right into the ground.
That was Tannen out there, Rick. He really just annihilated Tannen on that play.
Mercury Morris picks up the first down as he rambles for some 13 yards, and it'll be a first down at the Jets' 47-yard line. 9 minutes, 58 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Jets lead 17-14. The Dolphins trying to wrap it up today, and the Jets trying to stay in contention. This has been a dandy, a hard-hitting, hard-nosed, bruising Pier 6 brawl. Tilly splits to the far side, Stowe to the near side. Here's the handoff to Zonka. Cuts back over the right tackle, to his left, and gets inside the 45, down to about the 44-yard line. Gus Holloman, the strong safety, coming up to make the tackle on the play. This has been a marvelous coaching battle between Weeb Eubank and his
former pupil Don Shula. They've been throwing a lot of defenses at each other. Mandich comes in, replaces Fleming at the tight end spot. Philbin, Little, Elliott, Lomas, Taylor, Baker, Tannen, Wise, Holloman, and Hicks are the defensive deployment for the Jets. A second down and 7. Dolphins ball at the New York 44. Twilley splits far side. Stowe to the near side. Morris and Zonka the split backs. In behind Morrow. Earl, play fake, drops to throw. He sets, he's firing for Twilley. Overthrown as Howard was cutting out to the sidelines, and the ball was thrown straight down the sidelines, way over his head, and out of bounds, incomplete. Tannen was back there, but neither one of them had a clear shot at it.
There's no question about a mix. There was, Rick, there was a mix-up on that. Actually, Howard should have gone straight down if he and Earl were thinking the same way.
Third down coming up and 7 for the Dolphins from the Jets' 44-yard line. 9 minutes, 12 seconds to go in this third quarter. The Jets lead 17-14. Let's see what Morrow comes up with this time. Twilley has been the principal receiver. The Jets have been able to stop the Dolphins on the ground, just 57 yards and rushing in that first half. For the NFL's number 1 rushing team, Jim Mandich is the tight end. Twilley splits to the far side, Stowe to the near side. Morrow on third down. He fires. It is caught by Mandich at the 35. He's knocked out of bounds at the Jets 31. A first down for Miami. Mandich slanting across, was wide open at the 35, and running him out was safety man W.K. Hicks, but not before he picked up an additional 4 yards. And so Earl Morrow converts on the third down. On a pass to the tight end, Jim Mandich. Mandich is out, and Marv Fleming comes back at a tight end for Miami. The ball at the Jets' 31-yard line. The Dolphins moving from our right to our left toward the west end of the field. 9 minutes, 5 seconds to go in this third quarter. The Jets lead 17-14. This is a biggie, and these clubs are playing it like a biggie. All right, Twilley splits to the far side. Otto Stowe to the near side. Morris and Zonka, the split backs. In behind Morrow. First down, Dolphins at the Jets' 31-yard line. Earl fakes the handoff, drops to throw. He pumps. Now he's going to run with the ball. 25, 20, 15, he might score. 10, 5, touchdown, Dolphins. That for old Bones. I got him out of the rocking chair to play, and he runs one in from 31 yards out. He pumped the throw and found nobody open, and just broke out of the pocket down the near sidelines and outran everybody else. He was bumped at the goal line, but he got in, and Garo Yepremian is in to try the point from placement with Morrow staying in as the holder. That is Morrow's first touchdown that he has scored this year. The kick is up, and it's good. With 8 minutes and 55 seconds left to go in the third quarter. The Dolphins 21, the Jets 17, and we'll be back in a moment. Rick Weaver back at the Orange Bowl. That run by Morrow will go down as one of the classics of the season. 31 yards, sprinting out of the pocket, tucking the ball under his arm and just rambling down the sidelines, bumped at the goal line and fell into the end zone. And the Dolphins a 66-yard drive in 6 plays, lead 21-17. Garrow's kickoff way back in the end zone, down by Cliff McLean. There will be no run back, and the Jets will start out at their 20-yard line. I'll tell you, these kickoffs by both Yepremian and Houfield have been magnificent. We haven't had, but I think one run back all afternoon. So the Jets now find themselves trailing since early in the ball game, leading the Dolphins out in front 21-17 with 8:50 to go in his third quarter. Cliff McLean and John Riggins will be the running backs. Eddie the Flea Bell splits to the far side. Don Maynard to the near side as Namath brings his ball club up. Cliff McLean and John Riggins, the running backs. Boozer has not played in this third quarter after getting a knee injury. He did come back in for 1 or 2 plays after that, though, in the first half. Namath drops the throw. Swings one out. A flag is down. Here's the pass cut by Riggins across the 25 up to the 30 and he's to the 32 before he is dropped, but there is a flag down upfield. Riggins, the receiver, on the swing out to the far side. Bill Stanfield finally brought him down. And the flag is thrown upfield. A gain of 12. They would have picked up the first down anyway. We got a defensive holding call on Miami, which would have been a 5-yarder and an automatic first down. The Jets decline it and take the gain and a first down anyway. Off that 12-yard pass reception from Namath to John Riggins. First down for the Jets at their 32 at the New York 32-yard line. 8 minutes 40 seconds to go in this third quarter. The Dolphins have just taken the lead, 21-17. Namath with a first down at his 32. Bell splits to the far side. To the near side is Maynard. McLean and Riggins the split backs. Joe brings his ball club up. Has not set them yet. Now he hollers set on the snap. Fakes the pitch. Hands off to McLean on the trap up the middle, and he's knocked down at the 35. Possibly he got to the 36. Nick Bonacani, the Dolphins' great middle linebacker, and Doug Swift make the tackle on the play. Give them a gain of 4 as they put it down at the 36-yard line. It'll be a second down coming up and 6. Earl Morrill with a 31-yard touchdown run. That was just a classic down the near side, and the Jets defense had deployed to the far side looking for the pass, and he just broke out of the pocket. I don't know what Earl's 100 speed is, or even his 40. I don't think it's ever been clocked in the annals of the NFL. Back to throw goes Namath. Swings that little flare out again to Riggins. He's got it, the 35, and gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all, as he's knocked down on the far side of the field by Dick Anderson. A fine defensive play by the Dolphins' strong safety. He just swung it out to Riggins. He caught it behind the line of scrimmage, of course, and then started to move upfield, and he gets no gain on the play.
Rick, talking about Earl's speed, he had to really move out there because Elliott was right over his shoulder. Just as he started off, he glanced over and saw Elliott going, and there was no way he's going to let Elliott catch him.
All right, a big play for the Jets here. Third down and 6 from their 36-yard line. 7:33 to go in his third quarter. The Dolphins lead 21-17. Bell splits far side. Maynard to the near side. McLean and Riggins, the split backs, and behind Namath. On third down and 6, he's got to get across the 42 to get a first down. He sets his ball club on the snap. Here is the pitch going to Riggins to the right side. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. He is swarmed under as Dick Anderson was blitzing or coming up across the line of scrimmage from his shallow defensive spot, and he hit him first, and the rest of them joined him. Nick Bonacani, no gain on the play. As on the pitch, Riggins is stopped cold, and that brings up a punting situation.
You talked about a great contest between two coaches, Rick. This is just exactly it. They just called that play at the right time with Anderson blitzing. He took the man right down.
Scott deep, Anderson shallow to receive O'Neill's punt. He's standing at the 21, the 36, in Jets territory, the line of scrimmage. Here's the kick. They put on a rush. Partially blocked. He gets it up, flag down, and grabbed by Scott back at the 20. And he's going to be nailed right there, but there's a flag back down the field, and whether it's roughing the kicker or what it is, we'll have to wait and see. Somebody appeared from here who as if might have gotten a hand on it. That ball took a funny spiral out of there, and if you touch the ball first, it is not a penalty. But perhaps my eyesight is failing, and it was not touched.
I don't think it was touched, Rick, and I think we're going to end up that New York's going to keep the ball.
That's right, 5-yarder on roughing up the kicker, and this gives them the football at their 41-yard line, and it will be a first down. Roughing the kicker is a first down, automatic first down. Wanted to wait to see where they put the football down, and roughing the kicker called on the Dolphins, so the Jets get to keep it at their 41 with a first down. Ed Bell splits left side. Maynard to the near side. And now the fans set up such a howl that Namath and the officials decide that they're going to go back and re-huddle. As a clarification, we had this a couple of weeks ago. There is no marched-off penalty that is in the record book on a situation where the fans will not let a ball game continue. There is a call that I have seen utilized twice in my broadcasting career, in Chicago in 1947 and in San Francisco in 1969, where if the booing persists, the officials will order both teams to the dressing room until the crowd cools off. And once again, Namath says, I can't hear. McLean is the guy in the offensive backfield who is claiming that he can't hear the signal. Henry?
And you remember after that booing last time, our defense said that they couldn't hear their defensive signals, and the booing did a lot to destroy their effectiveness.
So let's cool it. 6 minutes and 31 seconds. This affects the defensive signals as well as it does the offense. We all came here to see a football game, so you folks on the transistors, let's keep it down. Let's keep the game going. Maynard splits near side. Bell to the far side. Jets ball, first down from their 41-yard line. Namath, ready to go to work. Sets his ball club. On the snap. Hands off. Riggins through the right side. Carries tacklers with him out across the 45 to about the 47-yard line. Manny Fernandez is the man who will get credit for the stop, along with middle linebacker Nick Bonacani. And it'll be a second down and 4 coming up as Riggins picks up 6. Bob Hines comes back in on the Dolphin defensive alignment as Matheson goes out. The ball is at the Jets' 47-yard line. That roughing the kicker call appeared to me to be partially blocked, but Lou Quickmer said no. Cost the Dolphins possession of the football. And somebody starts in the Jets' backfield, and flags go down. Cliff McLean started forward. Now, this will probably be an illegal procedure penalty against them before the ball was snapped. I don't know what. He must be hard of hearing.
McLean's still trying to put on a big act, Rick, and I think that's exactly what it is. He's trying to put on an act that he can't hear the signal.
Illegal procedure is the call, and now he's talking with the referee, Norm Schachter, and Schachter is not buying it. Illegal procedure is the call. A 5-yarder against the Jets sets the ball back to their 42-yard line.
Second down 9. It's 35 yards in penalties for the Jets now. Bob Matheson comes in. Bob Heinz goes out. That puts up 3 of the front 4 and 4 linebackers for Miami. Dolphins 21, Jets 17, 5:51 to play in the third period. Eddie Bell going wide to the left, Don Maynard going to the right. Namath calls a play for New York. The Jets go set. Namath takes a snap, a pitch to Riggins, trying to get to the outside behind Sweet. He can't do it. Knocked out of bounds on the 39-yard line by Curtis Johnson for a loss. Well, the Dolphins are certainly covering their flanks well. And the loss back to the 39 makes it third down and 12. Merle Herman with Sam DeLuca at the Orange Bowl in Miami, where the Dolphins lead the Jets 21-17. Eddie Bell to the left side, Don Maynard to the right side. Third down and 12 is a call coming up from the Jet 39. Clifford McLean and John Riggins are the setbacks. Namath goes back to pass. He pumps once. Now he's going to go long for Don Maynard. Maynard makes the catch as he is out of bounds on the 20-yard line. Caught that ball over his shoulder as Tim Foley was covering. Maynard caught it on the 20 and went out of bounds immediately, and the Jets get 41 yards on that one.
He was falling out of bounds. I don't know how he managed to get both feet inside that marker, Merle, but he did it.
That's Don Maynard's first reception of the afternoon, and it's a big one because on a 3rd and 12, Namath hits Maynard for 41 and a first down of the Miami 20.
Rick Weaver back at the Orange Bowl, 41 yards on the pass completion from Namath to Maynard, and Maynard is going out. So is McLean. Hank Bjorklund, a big rookie running back from Princeton, is now in the offensive backfield. And they've got the other tight end in there. First down for the Jets at the Dolphins' 20-yard line. Riggins, Bjorklund, the running backs. Here's the pitch to Bjorklund. He is going to get hit behind the line of scrimmage and driven back. And a fine defensive play by Dick Anderson.
The Dolphins' strong safety,
who came in there and belted him at the 22 and let him get no place. A loss of 2 on the play. McLean and Maynard come back in. Barkham goes out, and Bjorklund will go out. A loss of 2. It'll be second down. And 12 to go for first down, 22 to go for a score. Dolphins lead 21-17. 41-yard pass just completed from Namath to Maynard on a 3rd down and 12 situation. Out of the huddle comes Joe Willie. And the Jets, Eddie the Flea Bell, switch to the far side, Maynard to the near side. McLean and Riggins, the split backs. And behind Namath, a 3rd down and 12 from the Dolphins' 22-yard line. Now Joe sets the ball club. On the snap, he drops the throw. Has time, fires a swing. Riggins has got it at the 25, eludes a tackler, and is up the far sideline. He is out of bounds at the 5-yard line, and they almost let him get into the end zone. He bumped off tacklers on the far side of the field and gets down to the 5. And that will be good for a first down, as Riggins took that little swing pass that Namath has been throwing to him all afternoon.
This is where the guessing just didn't pay off, Rick. Swift came in and rushed on that play, and this left Riggins clear. Nobody covering him.
All right, Matheson comes out, and the Dolphins insert the goal line defense. The Jets have a 1st and goal down here at the east 5-yard line. The running backs are Cliff McLean and John Riggins, as they have inserted the tight ends. They give them more blocking up front. Namath brings his ball club up. A 1st and goal from the Dolphins' 5-yard line. Waiting for the snap as Namath sets his ball club. Here is the handoff to McLean. He's caught by one leg at the 5, and he's lucky to get there. As the Dolphins were waiting for him, and he gets no gain on the play. Doug Swift is the man who finally contained him. They put it down at the 5, just inside the 5, so it'll be 2nd down and goal from the 5-yard line. Swift and Anderson in on the tackle. Barkham goes out. Castor goes out. Now, wait a minute. A lot of confusion as far as the Jets are concerned. And they started out. Now they turn around and come back in. Maynard goes out. Now Bell starts out. And Riggins is going out. And Joe Willie wants a timeout. Dolphin football action continues from the Orange Bowl with the score. Dolphins 21, Jets 17. Rick Weaver back at the Orange Bowl. Emerson Boozer has come back in. His first appearance here in the second half. He has been where he's been most devastating, and as a running back this year, has been from close in, and that's where he has scored his greatest number of touchdowns. He has 13 coming into the ball game, 10 as a runner and 3 as a passer. When time is in, it'll be a second down and goal for the Jets from the Dolphins' 5-yard line. And Namath burned the Dolphins just a moment ago on a 41-yard pass on a 3rd and 12 situation with Maynard caught right on the sideline and then fell out of bounds with it. All right, they line up. Finally got their defense, their offensive alignment set. Boozer and Riggins are the splitbacks behind Namath. Second down and goal from the Dolphins' 5-yard line. The Dolphins' 4-point lead in jeopardy right now with 4:05 to go in this third quarter. Here is the handoff. Boozer, check it. Namath keeps. He fires the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown by Wayne Stewart, the tight end. A great bit of faking by Joe Namath, the Boozer, who pounded the middle of the line. And then Namath sprinted out to his left and fired to Wayne Stewart, who catches his first touchdown pass as a Jet. Big 4-year veteran, 6'7", 228, from the University of California, number 89. And Stewart was wide open, deep in the end zone. And what set that play up was the fine ball handling by Namath and the great fake into the middle by Emerson Boozer. They will try the point from placement as the Jets have taken the lead back now, 23-21. Howfield in to try it with Davis to hold. 3:59 left to go in this third quarter. Back and forth, waiting for the snap. Here it is, set down. The kick is up. And it looks good from here. We got the official signal that it is good. And so it's a 24-21 ball game. And the Jets have now achieved something on the Dolphins that nobody has been able to do this year. They have scored more points against Miami's defense than any other team this season long. That is with the exception of the preseason games, which don't count. Buffalo, as you recall, in the first encounter here, got 23. The Jets now have 24 and lead the Dolphins by 3 points, 24-21.
And that's some dejected football players coming off the field here with Bonacani and Swift and some of the other boys because they have such pride. They just don't like to see those points up on the scoreboard. They're really upset.
Well, they're in against the best this afternoon, a man that, everybody says has been the best and may be the best, and he is proving it this afternoon. He has ripped the Dolphins' defense when he needed to, and the big play in that drive was the 41-yard pass reception to Don Maynard on a 3rd down and 12 situation, an 80-yard drive, 10 plays, and Stewart caught the 5-yard touchdown pass. Henry?
Mercury Morris has a very sore neck. He was sitting on the bench here during the defensive play, and all of a sudden ran down and asked him to start working on his neck, and they've been massaging his neck. It's very sore. I don't know yet whether he got hit or if it's just a cramp or what.
All right, the Dolphins have got to move the football again and hope that the defense can hold them. We have 3:59 to go in the third quarter. The Jets have the momentum back with a 24-21 lead. Morris deep down the near side. Charlie Lee, number 23, deep off to the far side to receive Howfield's kickoff. Here is the whistle. Howfield comes forward. He gets the toe into it, squibs it. Back upfield. It'll be grabbed by Bob Matheson. The Dolphins blocking one at the 15 to the 20, and he's going to be dumped across the 25 at about the 29-yard line. Matheson, who was a running back at Duke University, even though he is a big guy, plays up in the blocking wedge and grabbed that short squibber. Tackled by John Ebersole on the specialty teams of the Jets. We'll call up the 30-yard line. And the Dolphins will move from there, some 70 yards away, moving toward the west end of the field with 3:46 left to go in the third quarter, finding themselves down now. 24-21. Fleming is the tight end. Otto Stowe, wide receiver near side, 20 to the far side. Morris and Zonka, the splitbacks, and behind Earl Morrow. On the snap, here's the handoff to Morris over the left side, and he gets a yard, and that's all. Not much of a hole there, as Mercury hit right into the hole, and it was jammed up. Gain of a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. The tackle by Phil Wise, who's done a good job as that 4th linebacker in there for the Jets this afternoon. He is normally a cornerback, second-year man from Omaha. Mandich comes in at the tight end, replacing Marv Fleming for Miami. A 2nd down and 9 for the Dolphins. The ball at our 31-yard line. 3 minutes, 7 seconds to go in this third quarter. And the Jets lead 24-21. Henry?
That was unscheduled. Shua didn't know what was going to happen. Fleming lost a shoe.
All right, Morrill sets. 2nd down and 9. Dolphins from the 31. Here's the handoff to Zonko. Through a hole on the left side. Hurdles the tackle. 35, 40, 45, up to the 50-yard line. Rams worry the Bulls. Zonka. A tackle made by the cornerback, Early Thomas, and he had a tremendous opening on the left side. as Zonka rambles for 18 yards and a first down. Larry Little coming across from the right guard side, the strong side guard, blew the hole for him, and Zonka picks up 18 and a first down for the Dolphins at our 49.
Rick Zonka runs so hard that when he really makes contact, you know it's got to hurt. But Larry gets up off that darn turf and walks back there, and he says, no one's going to know that it hurt.
All right, Twilley splits to the far side. Otto Stowe to the near side. Zonka and Morris on the eye behind Morrow. First down, Dolphins from our 49. Mercury, second man through the hole, hits the middle, and he gets to about the 47-yard line as the Jets come piling on. And the fans boo. They thought there should have been a hitting after the whistle call, but the officials didn't see it that way. I don't think Mercury was ever knocked off his feet. He was standing up, and people kept pounding on him as the blockers were wedged around him. He gets about 4 on it. It'll be second down and 6. Ralph Baker, the linebacker, gets credit for the tackle. The ball is at the Jets' 47-yard line. We have a minute and 42 seconds left to play in this third quarter. The Jets lead 24-21. It's been back and forth like this all afternoon. Twilley splits far side, Stowe to the near side. Morris and Zonka split backs and behind. Earl Morrow from the Jets' 47. Here's the out pattern, incomplete. Morrow threw the ball into the ground. Twilley was wide open at the 40-yard line. He just went out a little curl. Little hook pattern out to the 40-yard line, but Morrow threw it into the ground. Tannen covered on the play, but he had no shot at the ball. That'll bring up third down and 6. Dolphins from the Jets' 47. Mandich is into the ball game. Fleming is out at tight end for Miami. The Jets with a couple of long drives this afternoon. Likewise for the Dolphins. The difference right now is that 33-yard field goal that Bobby Howfield kicked. Twilley splits right. Stowe to the near side. Third down conversion situation for Morrow. 3rd and 6 from the Jets' 47-yard line. Zonka and Morris, the split backs. Earl dropping the throw. He fires in the middle. It is caught by Stowe. What a catch at the 33-yard line. He was hit. They tried to strip him with the ball, and he held on to it. Great catch by Otto Stowe. Early Thomas is the man who was all over him. And as you recall, in last year's ball game here, he actually stole the ball away from Paul Warfield. After Warfield had made the reception, a great reception and a gutsy play by Stowe holding on to it. Gives the Dolphins a first down at the Jets' 33-yard line. Fleming is in the ball game at a tight end spot. Otto Stowe splits to the near side. Twilley to the far side. Morris and Zonka remain the split back. Here's the handoff to Mercury. Sweep to the right. Trying to get outside. He is going no place. He was trying to make up his mind whether to follow the blocking to the far sidelines or cut back to his left. And he tossed for a yard loss back at the 34. Steve Tannen, the left cornerback, a Miami boy, gets credit for the tackle. Actually, it'll be a 2-yard loss as they set it down back at the Jets' 35. Fleming is out. Mandich is in at the tight end. It'll be a second down and 12. 19 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Jets lead 24-21. The Dolphins on the move. A second down and 12 from the New York 35. Twilley splits far side. Stowe to the near side. Zonka sets as the slot man left. Morris is the running back behind Morrow. Earl drops quickly to throw. Slant in. Twilley can't get it. At the 17-yard line, he dove for the ball, and it bounced off his fingertips. Mike Taylor covered on the play. That's the end of the third period. Dolphin football action will continue from the Orange Bowl with a score. The Jets 24 and our Dolphins 21. Or can the Jets become the first team to whip them and perhaps stay?
The clinching of the AFC Eastern Division title for the second straight year. We'll see. Morrow drops back to throw. Has good protection.
Now he is firing deep for Otto Stowe. He can't get it. Stowe had to turn around a couple of times back there in the end zone, looking up into the sun, which has just broken through the overcast again from the clouds, and Morrow led him just a little bit too much covering on the play. It was Early Thomas and W.K. Hicks. So that'll bring up the fourth down, and Garo Yepremian will get a chance to tie it up here. This will be about a 42-yard attempt. Garo has 14 out of 23 in the field goal department. That wind is a crosswind moving from right to left, from Garo's right to his left. Morrow will hold, and if he makes it, it will tie it up. Yepremian with an important field goal. Here's the snap. Set down, the kick is up. He's got the distance. It is no good. Off to Garo's left. Off to his left, off to the kicker's left side, and so the Dolphins have their drive stopped. The Jets hold, and will take over the football at their 20-yard line and maintain their 3-point margin by a score of 24-21 with 14 minutes and 47 seconds left to play in this football game. Now the Dolphin defense has to shore up and get this football back.
Cliff McLean and John Riggins will be the running backs. As we remarked, the wind, at least from here on the flagpole down at the east end from to which he was kicking, was blowing as a crosswind from his right to his left, and he missed on his left side.
That's really a rarity with Garrow, Rick, because usually he'll hook that ball, and it should have been coming in here over to the right. But this wind did blow it and kept it from hooking in.
The Jets ready to go to work from their 20-yard line. McLean and Riggins, the split backs, in behind Namath. Bell and Maynard are the wide receivers. They're moving from our right to our left. Namath hands off to Riggins, and he's going to go no place as he's bouncing off tacklers. And finally, they're going to get him back at about the 15-yard line. He was hit initially up at about the 18. Bill Stanfill is the man who got him, and he kept bouncing off people, digging those legs into the polyturf, trying to get traction. And let's see where they're going to finally put the ball down. They put it down back at the 18, so it's a loss of 2 on the play. Hines comes out. Matheson comes in. Hines and Stanfill in on that last tackle. It'll be second down and 12 for the Jets from their 18. Henry?
Larry Zonka's a bloody mess. He got a bloodied nose. They don't believe it's broken, but his front of his jersey's covered with blood.
It'll be either 9 or 10 for him if it is broken. He's had more broken noses than Carter has pills. To the near side is Bell. To the far side is Maynard. Riggins and McLean. All the Jets from their 18. Here's a fake pitch. Handoff. Fumble. Loose ball. Who's going to get it? Dolphins. Dick Anderson. At the Jets' 27-yard line. Dick Anderson is in the right place again. McLean came through the hole, and that ball was really popped out of his arm. And Anderson, who would have set the pass early in the ball game, would set up the first Dolphins touchdown, fell on it. And the Dolphins have excellent field position at the Jets' 27 now. At 13:43. Left to play in this football game. The Jets lead 24-21. Let's see if we can get in for 6. Stowe splits left, Twilly to the near side. Zonka and Morris are the split backs. In behind Earl Morrill from the Jets' 27-yard line. We're in the last period. Jets lead by 3. Waiting for the snap. Here it is. Hand off to Zonka. Sweep to the right behind Little. Cuts back into his left. Gets to the 25 and is wrestled to the ground at the 21-yard line. Larry Zonka picks up 6 as he was literally and physically lifted off of his feet by John Elliott, the right side defensive tackle, who at 244 pounds has to be one of the strongest guys around. And W.K. Hicks and Steve Tannen is shaken up on the play, the Miami cornerback for the Jets.
Rick, that was just a beautiful block that Howard Twilly threw over there on Philbin on that. Really made the play go.
And the ball is placed down at the 21-yard line. We thought they were going to hold Tannen over here to look at him, but we'll keep it here as he's being assisted off the field, and they get a defensive replacement in for him. Larry Grantham comes in. Henry?
Steve Tannen has had shoulder trouble all year, and it looks like that's what happened to him. He's favoring that shoulder.
The second down and 4, Dolphins ball at the 21-yard line in Jets territory. Cleveland in the third quarter leads Pittsburgh 23-17. Cleveland 23, Pittsburgh 17. Tannen played his high school ball here in Miami at Southwest. Went to the University of Florida. Appears to be badly shaken up. All right, the Dolphins break out of the huddle. The second down and 4 at the Jets' 21-yard line. Stowe splits far side. Twilly to the near side. Zonka and Morris remain the split backs. In behind Earl Morrill on the snap. Handoff goes to Zonk over the right side. He barrels his way down to about the 18-yard line. That's going to be close to a first down, but not quite enough. Tackle made by defensive left tackle John Little, the year man from Oklahoma State for the Jets. They put the ball down just outside the New York 18-yard line. And it's going to be just a little bit shy, maybe about a half yard. And now they put in Mandich. Mandich and Fleming, the two tight ends. Stowe is out. 12:20 left to go. Jets lead 24-21. The Dolphins a third down and a yard for a first down at the New York 18-yard line. They set up tight with Twilly as the wingman left. Morris and Zonka, the split backs, in behind Morrill. Morrill fakes the handoff. Now he's going to run with the ball. Gets to the 20, the 15. He's got the first down at the 14-yard line. Earl Morrill is knocked down by John Little and linebacker Ralph Baker. And Morrill in the second half of key situations has run for a first down and run for a touchdown. So Old Bones picks it up. That was an intentional, purposeful running play. And he gets the first down at the Jets' 14-yard line. He doesn't look too bad with those old high-top shoes on. Crew cut.
He's got a rocking chair in the locker room.
He's got to be an old man, Rick, when you figure that I played with him in 1958-59.
He's expecting another child, he and his lovely wife. All right, Stowe splits left, Willie to the near side. Zonka and Morris, the split backs in behind Morrill. Here's the handoff to Mercury. Threads his way through a hole to the 15 to the 10. He's down to the 5. He is in for the touchdown. Mercury Morris ran over half the New York Jets football team, weaving back and forth, bouncing off players, and he got roughed up at the goal line, and he wanted to fight somebody. But Morris was not to be denied as he broke a tackle right at the line of scrimmage, cut back to his right at the 10, ran over a couple more people, ran over another guy at the 5, was roughed up at the goal line, but still got in. Ralph Baker is the man for whom he had the distaste. Here's your Premier's try for the point, and it's up and good. 11 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the ball game. The score, as Dolphin football action will continue in 1 minute. The score are Dolphins 28, the Jets 24. Rick Weaver back at the Orange Bowl. This one is not over with by a long shot. The Dolphins have just fought back after Dick Anderson recovered a fumble at the Jets 27. Took him 4 plays, 27 yards. Mercury Morris bouncing off people like he was in a bowling alley. Rambles for 14 yards, his second touchdown of the game, his 11th of the season. Yepremian preparing to kick off to either Hank Bajorklin down the near side or Phil Wise to the far side. Here is the kick. This one will be run back. Bajorklin a yard deep in the end zone. 5, 10, up to the middle. The 20. He is dropped at the 25-yard line. So the Jets will start there. There's a flag thrown right after the play was made. Hubert Ginn made the tackle off the Dolphins specialty team, and we'll see what this penalty is for and whom it's against. The ball is at the 25-yard line in Jets territory. A 26-yard return, a clipping call against New York. On the kickoff return by Hank Bajorklin. So this will set them back from the point of the infraction to the 13-yard line, and that's where they will start from. With 11 minutes left to play, the Dolphins lead 28-24. Boozer and Riggins will be the running backs as Emerson has come back in. Namath the quarterback. Eddie Bell, who has not been thrown to this afternoon, is the wide man near side. Maynard is the slot man left. The Jets starting from their 13, moving from our right to our left. With 11 minutes, 1 second left to play in the ball game. Namath sets his ball club. The Dolphins lead 28-24. Here's the fake pitch. Bill Stanfield racks up Riggins before he can get started. What a tremendous defensive play. The handoff on the fake pitch went to Riggins. He was supposed to go in the middle, and Stanfield was waiting there and almost intercepted the handoff. He throws him for a loss at the 11-yard line.
And to really compound it all, Rick, end up with dead Herter right on top of him. Two of the best defensive ends in the league.
Henry?
That clip was on Roger Finney.
All right, the ball back at the Jets 11. The no-name defense coming to life here in this second half. A second down and 12 for the Jets from their 11-yard line. The two backs, Boozer and Riggins, set in the I. Bell splits to the near side. Maynard split far side from the Jets 11. Here is Namath. Handoff to Boozer. Trap over the right side, and he is knocked out at the 14 after a 3-yard gain. He might have gotten to the 15. Bob Matheson, playing in the linebacker spot that time, made the tackle along with Doug Swift. And they're going to mark the ball at the Jets 15, so he picks up 4 yards, and it'll be third down coming up. And they have to get out to the 23-yard line, so it'll be third down and 8. 9 minutes, 49 seconds left to go. 3rd and 8 for the Jets back at their 15. This is when Namath has been most dangerous today, is on third down plays. The last time he hit the 41-yard pass to Maynard that kept their drive alive and ultimately led to a score. Here's Bell, split near side. Maynard to the far side. Riggins and Boozer, the split backs in behind Namath from the 15. He drops the throw. He is looking. He fires. It is knocked away. Incomplete at the 37-yard line, and who got it? He went into the Dolphins bench. Curtis Johnson, a great defensive play, timing his leap. The pass was intended for Emerson Boozer, and Johnson, who has been tremendous this afternoon again. What a season this young man is having. Not only as a defensive cornerback, but as a specialty teams performer. He has won our Rick Weaver Specialty Teams Award twice thus far on the year.
One with Darrell Yepremian and Hubert Ginn,
So this forces a punting situation. Steve O'Neill will stand on the goal line. The line of scrimmage, the Jets 15. Jake Scott deep, Dick Anderson shallow. This could be a key punt with 9:24 to go. The Dolphins leading 28-24. Here is the snap. He will get a rush. He gets off a wobbly end-over-end kick. Scott will field it for the Dolphins back at their 41. Breaks to the far side. 45, 50, to the 45, and he's knocked down at the Jets' 44-yard line. So the Dolphins come up with excellent field position as Jake Scott runs that punt back some 15 yards. Those long strides of his. Hank Bajorklin is the man who made the tackle. Now the fans want to see the icing on the cake here and hope that the Dolphins can get in for 6 more. Other scores, Detroit in the third quarter leads New Orleans 17-0. We have a timeout on the field. Dolphin football action will continue in a minute. The score are Dolphins 28, the Jets 24. Rick Weaver at the Orange Bowl, a 44-yard punt by O'Neill, a 15-yard return. The Dolphins now have excellent field position. First down at the Jets 44, leading 28-24 with 9:12 to go. Here's a handoff to Mercury Morris, sliding through a hole. Not much of an opening on the left side, and may have gotten a yard to the 43. Linebacker Mike Taylor, the rookie from the University of Michigan, makes the tackle for the Jets. And let's see where they put it down. It'll be at the 43. Gain of a yard. It'll be second down coming up at 9. A score here for the Dolphins is essential, a score of some kind. 8 minutes, 45 seconds left to go. Dolphins with a 4-point lead, 28-24, second and 9 from the Jets' 43. Stowe left, fully to the near side. Morris and Zonka split backs in behind Morrow. From the Jets' 43-yard line, here is the handoff going to Mercury over the right side. Does he get the corner turn? He does! 40, down to the 36-yard line before he's knocked off his feet and slides out of bounds on the poly turf. John Ebersol, the middle linebacker spot, made the tackle. A 3rd and 2 as Morris got the ball down to the 36. Big play here for Morrow. Keep this drive alive.
Rick, I noticed that Jim Kick hasn't been in the ball game in quite a while. I wonder if something's wrong with him. Henry could check it out down there.
Well, he's had the bad knee and has not practiced much this week. Stowe splits left, fully to the near side. Fumble! Let's see who gets it back at the 42-yard line. Who's got it? Jets. That fumble on the handoff. Morrow was wrestling somebody for the football, but the Jets came up with it, and the Dolphins turn it over. Jerry Philbin, I believe, the defensive left end, an old nemesis for the Dolphins, number 81, a 9-year veteran from Buffalo, came up with it. And now let's see what they can do with it. They're down by 4 with 7 minutes and 40 seconds to go. That was a fumble on the handoff, and everybody dove for it. Maynard splits far side, Bell to the near side. The running backs are Riggins and Bajorklin. Jets have the ball. First down at their 42-yard line. Namath up under center, waiting for the snap. Dolphins lead 28-24. 7:18 left to play. Back to throw. Now the handoff on the draw play. Riggins into the middle, and he gets across the 45 out to about the 48-yard line. Vern Denherter, this defensive left end, makes the tackle on the spot. You fans listening on your transistors, remember our Rolling Home show following our play-by-play with interviews from both dressing rooms, the Jets and the Dolphins. A recap of this ball game. Sky Patrol reports to guide you home safely with Al Abrera from the WIOD Sky Patrol. And following that, our scoreboard show on WIOD. A second down and 4 for the Jets. The ball at their 48-yard line. Just recovered. A fumble on a handoff. 6:37 to go. Dolphins lead 28-24. Bell splits near side. Maynard to the far side. Riggins and Bajorklin in behind Namath. He drops back to throw. He fires. The ball is deflected. Great rush by Doug Swift from his strong side linebacker spot. He was coming, and he saw he was not going to be able to get the Namath, so Joe dropped back deep, and so he leaped up basketball fashion and deflected the ball into the ground. Incomplete. Intended for Riggins, who was just slanting out of the backfield. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 for the Jets at their 48-yard line. Henry?
There's nothing wrong with Jim Kick. They're just resting that knee of his. It was tender. He played some in the first half.
All right, the Dolphins had a drive off excellent field position, thwarted by a recovered fumble. It's been mistakes. First half, second half. Let's see what Namath comes up with. 3rd and 4 from the Jets' 48-yard line. Bell near side. Far side is Maynard. Bajorklin, Riggins, split backs in behind. Joe Willie, he drops to throw. He drops. He pumps, fires right side. All is incomplete. And Dick Anderson, from his strong safety spot, leaped in the air and almost deflected. It was intended for Maynard as he was hooking out to the far sideline area, and the ball bounced in front of him. Kent Foley covered on the play. So that brings up a 4th down, and O'Neill comes in to punt. So the Dolphins defense is held. Now let's see if we can hold on to the football and get on the board again. With 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. This has been a bruising battle on both sides. Scott is deep. Anderson is also back there with him. He's shallow. Line of scrimmage, the 42 in Jets territory. O'Neill will stand back at their 33. Waiting for the snap. With 6:20 to go. Here it is. No rush. He gets the kickoff. High end-over-end kick. Jake Scott makes the grab back at the 11, up the near side of the 15. He gets to the 16, maybe the 17-yard line before he is bent about in half. A 6-yard return off a 42-yard punt. John Ebersole on the specialty teams with the Jets down to make the tackle. They put it down at the Dolphins' 16-yard line, and so we are some 84 yards away from pay dirt with 6:08 to go, and a ball control drive is essential now. Mercury Morris and Larry Zonka will be the running backs. Willie and Stowe, who have played all the way, will be the wide receivers. Dolphins break out of the huddle. Marvin Fleming is the tight end. They set Stowe and Twilley as wide receivers to the far side. Twilley is the outside man. Morrill on first down. Here's a handoff. Zonka, counter trap over the left side. He gets good yardage out to about the 21-yard line. Big hole open for him off the left side of the Dolphins' offensive line. Mike Taylor, linebacker, and John Elliott, defensive tackle, makes the stop. A gain of 5. It'll be second down and 5 for the Dolphins from our 21-yard line. Clock is moving with 5 minutes, 26 seconds to go. The Dolphins with a 4-point lead, 28-24. The Jets trying to stay alive. They have to play again in 4 days, next Thursday against the Lions in that Thanksgiving Day battle. The Dolphins do not have to play again until a week from Monday against St. Louis here at the Orange Bowl. Airtime on these network stations and WIOD at 8:50. A second and 5. Here's Morrill. The handoff to Zonka. Cuts back into the middle, and he booms his way out to about the 23-yard line, maybe the 24. He started left and then cut back into the middle when he thought he saw an opening, but he closed in a hurry. Baker and Ebersole, 2 out of those linebackers, make the stop. They put it down at the 23-yard line, so actually gets only 2, and it'll bring up a third down and about 3 situation for the Dolphins. They have to get the ball to about the 26.5-yard line for a first down. So this is a big play. The Jets have been able to halt the Dolphins' rushing game most of the day.
Let's see if Earl goes over reliable, Howard Twilley.
All right, so splits left, Twilley to the near side. Zonka and Morris, the split backs. 3rd and 3. Somebody jumps. Flags go down. The handoff goes to Morris. Sweeping the left side, gets the corner turn. He's got the first down across the 30. Out to the 33-yard line. But let's see what the flags are all about. Somebody jumped from the Jets. Whether or not he was lured offside remains to be seen. Morris apparently has picked up the first down up to the Dolphins' 33 with a sweep to the left, and Elliott is injured on the play. John Elliott, defensive tackle. We'll wait for the official signal. Offsides against the Jets is declined. They did jump. And Elliott, I believe the man that jumped is the guy that's hurt.
Yes, Rick, and I'll tell you, if Elliott goes out of that ball game, it's really going to hurt that defensive line because he's really been the stalwart in there, the man that's really been coming in.
Well, they have their trainers out there. This has been a bruising battle. We've got a little show going on down here in the west end zone. Somebody, the ushers and the police are chasing a young man, and now they have pulled him out of the crowd, and the fans get involved with the boos. Elliott, it looks like his leg, and he is being assisted off the field. A tough blow for the Jets. A fine defensive player, John Elliott, 6-year veteran from Texas. And Ed Gallagher, a rookie from UCLA, 6'4", 255, replaces Elliott. That was a key run for Morris, that sweep to the left. Picked up a first down for the Dolphins at our 33. Henry?
Marlon Briscoe's stretching and limbering up. We may see Marlon in action.
Marlon has not played this afternoon after those 2 magnificent catches from Jim Delgazo last week. 4 minutes, 18 seconds to go. The Dolphins lead 28-24. Ball control possession here is essential. Stowe splits to the far side, Twilley a couple yards near side. Morris and Zonka, the split backs behind Morrow. Here's the handoff to Mercury, hits the middle, and is across the 35, out to about the 37-yard line. Mercury Morris, good blocking up front. Norm Evans laying on the bottom of the pile through a good block to open the hole. Phil Wise from a linebacker spot. Gus Holloman, the safety man, on the tackle. They put the ball down at the 37-yard line in Dolphins territory. Gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Henry?
The latest word we have is Zonka's nose may be broken. They're going to check it out after the game.
All right, we'll check it on the post-game show also, the Rolling Home Show, which follows our play-by-play for our Miami listeners on WIOD. Dolphins out of the huddle with a 2nd and 6 from their 37-yard line. This one's still not out of the woods. 3:39 to go. They set a double wing. Morris and Twilley are the wingmen. Here is the pitch going to Zonka. Sweep to the left side. A flag is down, and he is knocked out of bounds at the far side of the field at the 39-yard line. He only picked up a couple of yards, but there is a flag on the play. We're going to get a holding call against Miami. Offensive holding on the block, trying to get Zonka loose. Oakland at the half leads Denver 20-13. Remember to stay tuned for our scoreboard show, those of you listening on WIOD, which follows the Rolling Home Show, which follows our play-by-play. 3 minutes and 28 seconds left to go. And the holding infraction called against Miami. They have not moved the football yet. Marlon Briscoe comes into the ball game as a wide receiver, and Otto Stowe comes out. Miami will be assessed 15 yards. And this will set the ball back to the Dolphins' 22-yard line. Henry?
That was called on center Jim Langer.
Howard Twilley and Marlon Briscoe will be the wide receivers. The Dolphins have the football now back at our 22-yard line with a second down and 21, 3:28 to go. Still not out of the woods. Only a 4-point lead for Miami, 28-24. And that penalty hurt. All right, to the near side comes Twilley, and Briscoe is playing in Warfield's spot to the other side. Morris and Zonka, the split back, second down and 21. Here's the handoff. Mercury trapped in the middle. Loses a tackle up the near side. 25, 30. He's belted out of bounds at the 32. By Phil Wise, who had to scramble to get him. Morris hit off the right tackle, broke a couple of tackles, and then scooted for the near sidelines and up the sideline. For excellent yardage, he picked up a 15, but they're still about 6 yards shy. It'll be 3rd and 6.
And Merck went out of bounds right there in front of Don Shula, Rick, and Don Shula's telling every one of those officials out there that he pulled him down by the nose guard.
And no call on the play. The ball is at the Dolphins' 37, a 3rd down and 6. They have to get the ball to the 43 to keep possession of it or a first down. Lead only 4 points for Miami, 3:21 to go. Briscoe splits far side. Twilley to the near side. Here's the big play of the game for Miami. Zonka and Morris in the eye behind Morrill. And the Dolphins 37. Trap play. Zonka through a hole. He's got the first down, I believe, up to the 43. Let's see where they're going to put the ball down. A quick trap with Zonka hitting across the left side. Gets out to the 43-yard line. Gus Holloman, who made the tackle, is hurt on the play. And we get an official timeout on the injury. Now they're going to bring the chains in, and this is a big measurement. They mark the ball right at the 43. Any part of that football touches that lead chain. It's a first down, and they did not make it. They missed it by inches. What do you do now? What do you do now, Lou?
I'll tell you, Holloman looks like he's really hurt down there. He's out flat on his face. They haven't even turned him over yet.
Well, you didn't answer my question. You got out of it diplomatically by talking about the injury, so here comes the punting team on. And the Dolphins missed by inches on a first down. Henry?
This injury to the Jet player is very serious. They're down. Coach Eubank is out there. They actually got their head on him listening, and the stretcher has been brought out. He hasn't moved since he was knocked down.
I believe it's Gus Holloman, the strong safety. Al, will you check it for us again? He is a 5-year veteran, 6'3", 195, and played his college ball at the University of Houston. Baltimore beat Cincinnati. The final we have here, 20-19.
But that pales in insignificance now to the perhaps seriousness of this injury.
They have brought the stretcher out, and before we are criticized and calling something serious as it was last year with Ray Perkins and then turned not to be serious, these teams have to take the precaution, certainly in a humane way and in a medical way, to make sure that the injury is not serious, whether or not it might appear to be to us up here. And this one appears to be very serious. The Dolphins missed the first down by inches. They have the ball at their 43-yard line and have sent in the punting unit, but time is still out down on the field. As Gus Holloman, I think it's Holloman, pointed out to us by our spotter Al Book, and he was in on that tackle of Zonka. And Larry just missed by inches, picking up the first down in a 3rd and 6 situation. And now Holloman is being placed up on the stretcher. And certainly all of us here in the grandstand area and in the press box, the radio booth, hope that this is nothing serious. This has been a brutal ball game, hard hitting on both sides this afternoon. And now he will be taken to the ambulance. Henry?
He has now. He just moved his arms and his head and was talking to the trainer and the doctors that are out there. So he has come to if indeed he was knocked out.
All right, they're going to the Jets dressing room, which is over in the northwest corner of the Orange Bowl. Henry?
We should tell our fans here that the finest medical facilities of almost any stadium are at this Orange Bowl. X-ray equipment, ambulances standing by, everything is thought of in advance.
All right, Seipel ready to punt as the Dolphins, with just inches to go, on a 4-point lead.
Parasopoulos is deep. The line is coming
to the Dolphin 43. Seipel standing back at the Miami 29-yard line.
Here is the snap. He gets it out of there, almost blocked.
And a flag is
thrown. He's left up.
Catch made by Parasopoulos. He's knocked down at the 18-yard line.
But Seipel was dumped. and he gets up limping. He was really hit. Larry Ball made the tackle downfield. Lou, did you see who hit him?
It was right over the middle of the line, Rick. It looked like the middle lineman, number 86. Who would that be, Al? He's the boy that came in and knocked him down.
86 is Joey Jackson. Oh, Henry?
Well, this is no act that Larry Seipel's putting on. He's hurt. They're carrying him off the field.
Well, he's being assisted off. And Seipel was really shaken up on the play. Larry was hurt last year. This penalty will give the Dolphins a first down and allow them to retain possession of the football. Moves the ball up to the Miami 48-yard line, roughing the kicker. And a first down is Tom
Against the Jets.
And I believe the culprit was Joey Jackson, a rookie from Jackson State, playing on the punt rush team. And Seipel, the Dolphins punter, is out. The Dolphins could utilize Garo Yepremian, Dick Anderson, as Larry was hurt once last year. We hope this is nothing serious. And the Dolphins get a break with 2:47 to go, leading 28-24, a first down. And our 48-yard line. Otto Stowe is back in. He splits to the far side, fully to the near side. Here's the handoff to Mercury Morris. Wide sweep to the near side. He turns the corner. 50, 45, 40, 35, and it's chosen out of bounds at the Jets' 32-yard line. There is the big run of the ball game. Chris Parasopoulos, the weak safety, is the man who brought him down. And Morris down the near sideline got a great block from Larry Little. What a performer this Little is. No way he can't be all-pro again. The Dolphins pick up a first down as Morris scampers for 20 yards and a big play, a big run for Mercury. And Seipel was hurt on that rushing the kicker penalty, allowed the Dolphins to keep possession of the football. And let's see if we can capitalize on it this time to put this one on ice. 2 minutes, 38 seconds to go. Miami leads 28-24. If the Dolphins win, they will wrap up the AFC Eastern Division title. If the Jets win, they will just be 2 games behind Miami. Fully right. Here's the handoff. Zonka, sweep to the left. He is caught and is going to be thrown for a loss back at the 40-yard line. A fine play, a scramble on the ball. Let's see if they've blown it dead. Zonka had the ball jarred loose at the 40-yard line, and the Jets were scrambling all over the place with it, but I believe that the officials had blown the play dead. His progress was halted at the 40. Ed Gallagher, the defensive right tackle, came booming through there and threw Zonka for a big loss. Henry?
The Dolphin trainers, of course, went out on the field when Holloman, I believe it was, who told me was injured, and they say that they don't know how bad it was or what, but it was a neck injury that they were working on.
All right, 2 minutes and 3 seconds left to go in this fourth quarter, and the officials are going to call the 2-minute warning right now. 2 minutes to play. The Dolphin football action continues in 1 minute. The score are Dolphins 28, the Jets 24. The Dolphins have the football at the Jets 40, second and 18. 2 minutes to go. The Dolphins lead 28-24. Henry?
Just got the report on Larry Seipel's right knee. It was slightly twisted. They say he's all right. And Larry says that it was number 85 for the Jets, Ed Gallagher, who hit him.
Ed Gallagher gets the pass rush penalty. And not 86, Joey Jackson. Thank you for clarifying that. There's no better way to find out than ask the ball player who was involved. This is where our third man down on the field and his helper, Mike Garrick, do such a great job. All right, Twilly splits near side. So is a slot man right. Morris and Zonka, the split back. In behind Morrill, second and 18 from the Jets' 40-yard line. On the snap, here's the handoff to Morris. Breaks off a tackle. Now, is he going to go any place? He's going to wind up losing 5 yards. He started laughing.
Could not find a hole, got jammed up there, bounced off a couple of tacklers, came back to the near side.
And was piled up back at the 45-yard line by Ebersole and Baker, 2 linebackers.
And Rick is really comical. John Little, defensive tackle, came in there and hit Morris. Didn't realize he had the ball. Threw him off to the side and then went off there, out to the left-hand side but left Morris there with the football.
The Jets call a timeout with 1 minute and 47 seconds to go. Now they, according to our figures, they have only 1 timeout left. If the PA announcer was right in his assessment that the Jets did get charged for this timeout, they used one earlier when they had everybody running in and off the field. So the Dolphins now have a 3rd down and 22 and a big play if they want to keep this football and keep this drive alive without having to give it up. And they're back at the Jets' 44-yard line. Garo Yepremian has missed a field goal attempt this afternoon, but he also has a 54-yarder to his credit against the Buffalo Bills a couple of weeks ago. So Morrill, during the timeout, is over discussing the situation with Don Shula and the Dolphin assistants. 1 minute and 47 seconds to go. The biggest play of the game for the Dolphins. Henry?
They've changed the injury to Larry Seipel to a sprained knee.
All right, Twilley splits far side. So slap man left. Morris and Zonka remain the split backs behind Morrow.
3rd and 22 at the 44. They have to get down to the
22-yard line for a first down. Here's a counter play, and Zonka took the handoff over the left side and loses a yard. Gets to the 45. So now we get into the ball game. Dick Anderson. And let's see if we are going to punt. I don't see Garrow out there. Ricky Morris unofficially has gone over 100 yards, 22 for 111. Dick Anderson with Seifel injured is in the ball game, presumably to punt. Ball is at the Jets' 45-yard line. With a minute and 40 seconds to go, the Dolphins leading 28 to 24. The reason that they are not going to go for a field goal here is that there's a chance, always a chance, that it would be blocked, and rolling around loose at midfield would give the Jets excellent field position. So they're taking no chance. And let's see what Anderson does as a punter. He's standing back at the 40. The line of scrimmage, the Jets 45. Here is the snap. Dick gets the kick out of there. Wobbly end-over-end kick. Ferrisopoulos fumbles the ball. He is hit and holds onto it at the Jets' 9-yard line. Down covering on the play was Jim Mandich. And that one was a tough one for Ferrisopoulos. The field was nothing to write home about. Only 36 yards, and the beauty of the kick was nothing, but it was tough to handle. So Andy, Ferrisopoulos almost fumbles the ball and falls on it. The Jets will start from their 9-yard line. They'll have Riggins and Bajorkland as the split backs. Bell is split near side. Maynard to the far side. They're 91 yards away. Namath drops back to throw in the end zone. He fires the middle. Wide open is Riggins at the 10. He cuts for the far sideline. He is going to be contained at the 14. So they got only 5 yards out of it. Dick Anderson and Doug Swift made the tackle. The Dolphins lead 28 to 24. The clock continues to move with a minute and 5 seconds left to play. It'll be a second down and 5 for the Jets from their 14-yard line. They are in the 2-minute drill. No huddle. Maynard splits right. Bell near side. Riggins and Bajorkland remain the split backs in behind Namath.
From the Jets 14, 2nd and 5. He drops the throw. Being rushed. Swings one out to the near side. Riggins drops the ball. He was wide. Smack dab open like a new baby's bottom. Nobody near him, and he couldn't hold on. Well, that was a costly one. It'll bring up a 3rd and 5 for the Jets from their 14-yard line. 46 seconds showing on the clock as the incompletion has stopped the clock. Barkham has come into the ball game. As a wide receiver, he's the big rook from Jackson State. The Dolphins 46 seconds away. This is a big play. 3rd down and 5 for the Jets from their 14. Keep this drive alive. They deploy wide receivers all over the place. Namath waiting for the snap. He hands off on the draw. Riggins straight ahead. He's got the first down across the 20. Still digging it out to the 24. So the Jets get better field position and pick up a first down, keep the drive alive. Bob Matheson made the tackle for Miami. And they put it down at the 23-yard line. 28 seconds. The Jets apparently do not have any timeouts left. They were charged for that injury also. 22 seconds. Here is Namath dropping back to throw. Has excellent protection. Firing to Riggins. He's got it at the 24, 25, trying to get out of bounds. He didn't make it. Dick Anderson tripped him up at the 26-yard line. What a ball game Anderson has played. 8 seconds, 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5, 4, 1. And there it is. The Dolphins win their 10th straight in as hard a battle as they have ever had from a fine New York Jets team. The Dolphins win. And thus, by winning, wrap up their second consecutive AFC Eastern Division title, and you couldn't ask for a better ball game. The final score, Dolphins 28, the Jets 24. Mercury Morris went over the 100-yard rushing mark again with 23 rushes, 111 yards. Zonka had 17 carries for 73 yards, and he got some key yardage for the Dolphins in the second half. Jim Kick didn't play much. They gave him a chance to rest it. He had 2 rushes for 6 yards. The big receiver, Howard Twilley, made some great grabs today. 1 for a touchdown, 3 for 75 yards. And Zonka caught a pass for 8 yards. Stowe caught 2 for 31. Morris caught 1 for 5. And that pretty well covers the Dolphins' individual stats. For the New York Jets, as the Dolphins' adjustments proved to be the better in the second half, Namath put the ball up 23 times, completed 14, had 2 interceptions, and threw for 2 touchdowns. The rushing game, Riggins carried 19 times for 83 yards. Boozer 8 for 14. McLean had 4 carries for 2 yards. The receivers, Riggins had 7 for 60. Maynard had 1 for 41. That was a big pass, reception. Castor, who caught a touchdown pass, had 3 receptions for 52, and Wayne Stewart caught 1 for a touchdown.
the big thing is the Dolphins hold off a charge by the Jets. What a ball game it was. And a final look at this Dolphin performance in just a minute.
We're here with you, and I want to congratulate Don on win number 10 for this year, and I think it was a great team win.
Yes, and more important, it clinched the Eastern Division Championship for us, and it's important because if we lose to the Jets, that only puts us 2 up with 4 to go, and you never know what can happen in this caliber of football that we're involved in, and by clinching now, we can spend the next 4 weeks getting our team ready to go when the playoffs start, and this is what we intend to do. We'd like to, at the end of the year, say that we won the Super Bowl and had the undefeated season and everything else, but the most important thing to us is to win the Super Bowl, the World Championship. The first thing that you try to do when you go to training camp is to qualify for the playoffs, and we've done that. The next thing that you have to do is win each game in the playoffs because it's 1 and out there, and we hope that we're able to do that to get us a chance to get back into the Super Bowl.